Is that any better?
Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with James Farley,
Hello.
Sean Bell,
Oi, oi.
and returning is Matt Murray.
Hello.
Before we get to his feedback on last week's show, we're going to go through our Patreon producers for this month. They are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights to Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Hickton, Thomas, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man, Jack Oven, Grey Dragon Claw, Colin the Carwanker Smith, Lee Keybottom, My Dog Skip, Dean, and Steve the Nuke Littler. They're the Full Nails crew. I can't tell you how much I love each and every one of them. James, do you want to read them out next week? Do you reckon that the Full Nails listeners think, oh, why is it always Dave every week that reads our name out? So they should mix it up, baby. Do you want to try it next week, James? Would you like that?
I'd be delighted to read them out next week. Yeah.
Okay, all right, we'll get James
No
to
need to
read
be
them out next week.
sarcastic.
Almost definitely forget that. I reckon I'll forget that. If you would like to support the show, if you listen to us and you like what we do, we don't do advertising. We don't earn a penny from
Not
advertising
anymore.
on this show. Actually,
After that
and
one time.
Well, yeah, but that was like 4 years ago. We've been ad free
It
for
was,
like 4
and
years.
we
right?
made, we made our own fun with it.
Yeah, we did, which is not
Yes, we
exactly
did.
what companies want when they want advertising.
Yeah, no one's
Um,
approached us since. That was
Patreon.com. I think the last email to the company that we're talking about was, if you ever want to do any more adverts, with you, and they were like, nah, it's blocked.
we are good.
We've got an out of office. Patreon.com/TCGS. Keep the show ad free. We're not getting advertising, don't worry about it. But keep the show ad free. And if you do not support us on patreon.com/TCGS, then we will stop. We will stop podcasting. We've got a bonus show. We're recording that this week. It's going to be interesting. Sean's going to read for us. I won't
I've
spoil
got
what
some
that is.
absolute dynamite content.
We're going to be talking about the Minecraft movie because two of us have seen that and we've got thoughts on it. And then, should we announce what we're doing for our stream? We haven't got a date for it yet, but if you're on the tier for our video content, then we are at the end of the month going to host a goodbye Mario Kart 8 race where you, the Patreon, our Patreon supporters, can join us for a round or two of Mario Kart 8 just to say goodbye before we usher in a new era of Mario Kart. I'm looking
Unless
forward to
the
that.
new one's rubbish. Who knows?
Yeah, we might all be back on Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
I hear that from FIFA people. They go, if the new FIFA's crap, we'll just stay on this one. Everyone's like, what, with the old kits? No, thank you.
No one does that. Yeah,
I love it if we had like April's video show, like, oh, farewell Mario Kart 8, June's video show. Welcome back, Mario Kart 8.
yeah, we do that. We do a race for that one as well. Thank you very much for your support. Patreon.com/TCGS. If you're tight on money and you can't support us on there, then let someone know about us. Tell a friend, post us up on social media, get people listening to the show because every little helps. Right, Matt, you weren't here last week.
Yeah.
What are your notes? I mean, you missed a lot.
I know. I was gutted to miss last week. Just something come up. I mean, I had to have had to go to hospital briefly for a procedure, but doctors are really happy with the penis reduction. So should be fighting fit pretty soon. No. It wasn't at all.
He's just joking, guys. It's just a joke.
I don't know if I should laugh. And also, I thought you were going to take your hat off and hair was going to all drop down.
That would also be the dream, but no, not yet. But anyway, so I wasn't here last week. I got it. I mean, what a week to miss! Like all the Switch information, but I actually watched it like from my parents' house because some of that, or talk to my parents. Which
How tempted were you to chime in on the chat?
no, because I just thought it wasn't worth it. I just thought I'd listen as a viewer. It's great, yeah. I loved it. I mean,
Maybe you should have done
love the
what
fact-
James did when you streamed the directs and just joined for the last 10 minutes and not said anything. Joined
that
in
would've
like
been
a
great,
suit
wouldn't it?
and just not said anything. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I would have said, I guess, in a way. Yeah, no, I mean, I find it funny that it was like a listener special, questions from the listener special, and yet 2 hours in, like, actually, we should probably do a question or two. But yeah, my only 2 bits of feedback are, well, obviously I got kind of slammed to my pre-order statuses. I've only got 3 pre-orders for the Switch 2.
Yeah, but that's too many, isn't it? You need
let
one
me
pre-order
explain.
for the Switch 2.
Let me explain. I got the Amazon link from you, and I pre-ordered on Amazon. But obviously that's not guaranteed yet for launch day, and I'm not a mug who's going to wait like 3 days. I'm not an idiot. So I've got that, but that's a potential. I did jump on Smith's to get it physically ordered from Smith's, because that's the preference. I can go there first thing in the morning, grab my new little toy, and go home by like 9:30, and I'm playing Mario Kart 8 or whatever. So I've got to order from Smith's, but I'm not 100% sure if that's actually going to be there for launch day. And then I missed the first load of orders from Shop 2, so I think I've got a Shop 2 order. But so really, I've kind of really only got the one, which is Smith's in my mind.
You've got 3, and do you not understand my point? Do you not understand?
No, I
the
do.
point
Yeah,
I'm
of course. Yeah,
making?
but
You've got 3 pre-orders, and people find it hard to pre-order stuff because people like you are thinking, well, I've got to get 3 because I couldn't possibly do without the machine on day 1. Like, I possibly can't miss it. So all you're doing is you're making life shit for everyone else, Matt. Say for you, James, actually, his listeners, a little update on pre-orders.
Yeah, let's get on the news.
I've got a pre-order in the M through Argos. It's paid for. I got a text saying confirming it's coming on launch day. Then James texted me yesterday. Was it James?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Or was it this morning? So saying, so have you got a pre-order? I said, yeah, I got one at Argos now. I'm all sorted. And you said, right, cool. I'll cancel that one. That's me down to 4 then. 4 pre-orders, James.
No, but it's okay. So
2 for each
5.
console. Yeah.
No, I've got 2 now actually, and it's one for
Asher?
me and one for Asher. What's the problem there?
Oh, if you've got 2, then I think that's fine. Although you shouldn't have gone in with 6. Like, you shouldn't have started with 6. So where are you getting yours from then? Have you worked it all out?
Yeah, we're getting them from it's Media Markt in Germany.
Right, okay.
Interesting use of we. Do you want to talk about who secured the first one of those 2, James?
Oh, Chen did, and then and I did the second one.
Because this come about when we were was this before last week's show or after? Did we just forget to mention it last week?
No, it
the
was
fact
after,
that we
I
were
think.
talking about pre-orders and stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
just said, James, are there? You can't get one from Amazon Germany, and you went, no, I can't get
No,
one.
you can't. It's sold out.
Right. I said, James, is there any other shops that sell video game stuff in Germany? And you went, well, I haven't really looked. And then within 10 minutes, you replied, we've got one pre-ordered in the shop in Germany. What is the reluctance there? I don't get it.
Yeah, I know you don't get it, but I don't want to talk about it. There's
No, I want to
Just
talk about it
refuse to go
because
to a local
you've
game
got-
store.
Yeah, my point is that you would rather get one in the UK and then
Yeah.
send someone over to pick it up than just order from a local shop in Germany. Like that's the truth of it, right?
Yeah, if I had the choice, but then it's not.
I
It's because
had the
it's just fucking hassle. That's why. And it's like, and also you see, MediaMarkt don't have the best reputation, which is why I'm still nervous
Yeah.
about this, because I don't know if they're actually going to come through or not. Because it was all a bit too easy, like the whole thing. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
What's the latest with your Nintendo one? Have you still got that?
No, I cancelled that one.
Right, shit, because that was definitely going to only be delivered to the UK.
Yeah, that was only UK one. Yeah.
Yeah, that is bad. That is a shame. That one.
I did also offer you my Amazon one, didn't I, David? But I think you said in the show that I didn't. Fairly sure I said, "Are you okay
I
for
said
an
on
Amazon?"
your show that you didn't offer me one because
Oh,
James
no.
offered it before you. I
Maybe
didn't say
that
you
was
didn't
elsewhere
offer
you
me
said that, but yeah, I did offer you my Amazon one. So
Yeah, fine, already sorted, mate. Don't need it. So, and the greatest thing about already being sorted is that James can't blackmail me over it anymore because he already tried that 3 or 4 times. Oh, I'll cancel your pre-order then. Oh, go ahead, James, because I'm already sorted, mate, from Argos. There is some weird stuff going on though, because I pre-ordered the Pro controller from Amazon, right? But my confirmation is all in French. And when you click the link
That's a worry.
to go to the Pro controller on the Amazon website, the description's all in French. What the fuck is going on here? But we'll see.
you might order the controller for the Wii.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just got that. That's good.
the other bit of feedback was
that
Good
good.
radio. That is.
Wasn't
Yes.
that
Sweet,
good?
Matt is back. You know?
Oh, I'm back, boys. Your bit of feedback is that you talk disparagingly about my low-profile keyboard. And yes, I've still got this.
You got. Well, no, Sean said that you'd still got it, but you have.
I
you
might
have
got a new
still got
PC, but yeah, like all my accessories are still here. Yeah, I bloody love this keyboard, and I'm truly glad I got it for totally for free. Wasn't an extra bit of ounce of work at all. Yeah, totally for free, and look at me now.
It wasn't totally for free because even if you discount the amount of time you spent on getting it, you also paid for a lot of films that you didn't want just to get the reward points.
Yeah, but I've watched some of them since.
What was the compilation one that you got?
I got one of them was a Stanley Kubrick collection, which is great.
Oh, well, there you go.
I definitely got a Matrix collection. I got Zombieland 1 and 2.
Research. Maybe you should have watched those two, Matt.
No, I'm good. I'm good, baby. But no, it was a great show. It was fun watching it as a listener. I'm gutted I missed out on all the Switch stuff, but you covered it. You covered a lot of it, so it's
okay.
all
But
good.
can we get your view on the Switch stuff? It's funny because I saw on Rollmuck, and I'm not having a go at the person that wrote it because they did understand where we were coming from, but they were saying, I was really disappointed because I'm really hyped up for the Switch 2. And I went to listen to them to get myself even more hyped up, and they just shat on it for an hour and a half. And I don't necessarily think that's true.
No, I don't think it didn't feel like a negative show at all. You were talking about every aspect of it, and there were a lot of aspects which are confusing and some less great, although we might have some follow-up about the cartridge and codes on cartridge and stuff. But still, it's a bit messy, but I think it was largely an enthusiastic show, wasn't it? I mean, I felt like it was.
We were pretty enthusiastic. It was just all the caveats that there were. Which
the caveats are frustrating, and I think it's important to remember that this is an improved Switch, and the extra features that they have added. Neither of us are really interested in the mouse stuff or there's a lot of stuff on there that you just go, and the chat stuff you go, okay, all right, that's fine, but I mean it will be an improvement over using your mobile phone, which is what they use for the Switch. Don't get me wrong, but it's not anything to get you like totally pumped to get that console, is it really? Yeah. Whereas the software itself definitely is. Donkey Kong and Mario Kart World Tour. Or Mario Kart World is it's really exciting. Like I'm super excited for those games. So it's more for me. It's about the games that are going to come out, and I'm very excited for those. It's just the console itself. There wasn't too much to get hyped up about. But yeah, I'm sure we'll cover more of that later.
Now that they're doing this whole Nintendo chat thing, do you reckon they will just fully just dump that mobile app? I mean, they do nothing with it anyway, but...
No, because they mentioned it in that...
Yeah, they're bringing it back.
They're updating it. They're adding... That's how you get like this. So in the new Zelda editions, some of them are out now. You can share QR codes of your creations all through the app. You can use it as like a GPS as well. Yeah. There's basically they're like achievements, but they're not achievements. They said they're kind of like collect this many of whatever it was, and like things pop up in the app. I don't know why. What I didn't get was why didn't they just update that to include Nintendo Today stuff? Like, why have two separate apps? Like that they neither.
Yeah, no,
just
I agree.
have them as a Nintendo app. It's got calendar, it's got games, the two games, whatever it supports. Yeah, I don't understand that. But no, overall, I'm really excited about Switch. I mean, I get what you're saying, David. It is less exciting because it ultimately is just an upgraded Switch, but that's all we wanted. And yeah, Mario Kart looks amazing. Donkey Kong looks fantastic. I'm excited about the future of using that console and not having to like Google, does this game work on this console anymore? Okay, brilliant. The Switch will now be my, so what happened there, James? I mean, I know it's a visual. What's happening in your world?
I've just got children walking around.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Your children or...
What is that? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, go on.
Not editing this out, it's staying in it.
It's crashing about. Sorry about that.
Switch 2, Matt.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited for it. And yeah,
you're excited for it, but stop saying you're excited for it. It sounds like you're saying it to yourself more than anyone else. I am excited for this. I am definitely excited.
No, it's just
a list of feelings.
One accessory that I hadn't seen before that I'm wondering what you guys think. They didn't announce this on the stream, did they? That there's an official case, and the case comes with a screen protector.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I pre-ordered that as well. Yeah, I mean, I've still got the original case, the original official case I got last time, I guess. So
I was thinking about pre-ordering it, but the official case last time was shit, and this looks the same, and the Hori one was way better and way cheaper. And the screen protector's not going to be worth much, so I'm thinking just go down that route rather than.
Yeah, Hori stuff.
There'll be tons, won't there, of other ones that that'd be good.
The official one's that slip case, right? And that's just annoying.
Wait, it's a zip-up case. I mean, it does the job. I mean, I guess I haven't transported it with me every single day, but I've used it, since launch.
I didn't know you liked it so much. I'm sorry to offend you, Matt.
Yeah, mate. And it comes with a screen protector, so why would I not?
Because you can go cheaper.
Well, I can cancel it, can't I? I've also pre-ordered a camera, but I'm probably going to cancel that.
Why have you pre-ordered
because just in case. But I don't know what else I'm actually going to use it with. In case suddenly there's you've got to get the camera for these cool features.
But we're not other cameras with it though.
Yeah, but that's not as fun, is it? What, am I going to get my Logitech, just bang it
it's
on
50
top of
quid for that camera, by the way.
The Hori one is like 25 quid, apparently.
the Hori, the plant
looks
one.
like a piranha plant.
Yeah, but the maximum, isn't that like 480p or something?
Yeah,
it's a lot lower resolution.
Mate, honestly, you're not going to need more than that on a tiny little portion of the screen at the bottom of someone's
telly.
You
are, because it's going to be viewing like your entire living room. That's going to be like, right, and then that's the
just
guy we need. Yeah, just crop that out. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting it to test out, but ultimately I'm not going to know anyone else that will have one, so I'll probably end up cancelling that.
Can you do a video about it? Gear review.
Yeah, unboxing.
Yeah. Do you remember when James Farley did an unboxing review of that little clip that went onto his
that's
controller?
great.
Yeah.
If look for James Farley unboxing on our YouTube channel, because that is one of my favourite things we've ever done.
Because also the thumbnail was I included the entire Amazon title, which was game clip PlayStation phone case holder X2 49
for pro gaming controller on the mobile.
Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. Just great for SEO.
Was the best thing about that. It was great.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Is that all you got to say? Is that all you've got to say?
Yeah, I mean, you covered it in 2 hours last week. I guess we're going to see more. I mean, for me, Mario Kart looks so bloody good. Maybe I played a bit of Mario Kart in a week just because, I wanted to recapture that. I played a bit of Zelda in a week, even though I should probably just wait for the upgrades. But yeah.
So the upgrade for Zelda free?
If you're the Switch Online expansion pack member, yeah.
Right, okay, fine. Thankfully, I'm in a family. I've got a family member that has. So, okay, cool. Should we get on to the feedback from the listeners? Did they all love the show last week? I assume so.
Yes and no. God, in all their non-denominational forms. I've created a lot of things I regret, but the most disappointing is James Farley. It's not even his logic for why he should get a toy ahead of his child. It's the fact that he doesn't understand why this is wrong. He's a worse father than Elon Musk. I'm just reading this. I'm sorry, James. I'm wasting my fucking time here. I'm going to focus on making games consoles for sociopaths. James Farley.
I mean, that's quite upsetting, especially coming from God.
Out of all people.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were listeners, to be fair, so I'm happy with that. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, I guess all I can do is ask for forgiveness. I mean, that's
true. They have to give it you, so
yeah,
quid's in there.
So I'm good. I'm all good now. Let's move on.
I'm all good now. Let's move on, James says as he whistles walking out of a church every Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that both you and your child are both getting
like a save spot in a video game. Sorry, Matt, what was that?
I was just saying, the good thing is obviously both you and Asher are both getting the console now. So that's good. It's good, isn't it? All worked out.
Yeah, but Dan, it's the intention that was the problem, Matt. It was the intention.
Believe me. Dan,
it's like, have you seen? Do you know about that film? The one set in I think it's set in the French Alps. It's a foreign film, and I really want to see it. I've only read about it. I've not seen it, and they did an American remake of it, and it was apparently dreadful. Yeah. Where they're sitting just after skiing. There's a family, and there's an avalanche coming down. And as it's coming down, the dad runs off.
Oh, yeah. He runs off, but then he
completely misses them, right? And then comes back and goes, "Hey, so that was scary, wasn't it?" And it completely it makes the whole rest of it. I need to watch that film really, but
what's that film called? Sorry,
I can't remember. I've heard about
I
it.
think
as
it's
well.
called Skiing French Alps Scared Dad Ran Off.
Oh, okay,
That's
cool,
what
yeah.
it was called. And if that's not the name of the film, it'll be the name of the episode. So
Dan has a message, AK Black Sicento. I think it's a fit, isn't it? I did my bit to promote the pod this week by wearing my James Farley Realisation of a Mid-90s Dream t-shirt to my vasectomy. The health assistant asked me who James was, and I explained James and the podcast while the doctor was busy slicing and dicing. If you get any additional subscribers in the Southwest this week, you know why.
Good to know.
okay.
Right.
Alright.
No, it's great. I mean, that probably made the whole procedure a lot more enjoyable for them, not for you. But
I'll be honest. I wasn't listening because I was googling "skiing dad runs off film." Force Majeure, it's called.
Oh,
is
Force
the
Majeure,
is the
okay.
original? Yeah, and then,
That's what I wanted to call if we redid Le Tournoi. It's going to be called Le Tournoi Dieu, Force Majeure. All booked in for my vasectomy, by the way, in case anyone
oh, brilliant!
You
was
are.
wondering. Yeah. Had to,
Oh, did you go through the
had to break
questionnaire?
it to my wife that it's like 3 days before her birthday.
So no birthday happy times. For
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
That's I feel bad.
Obviously,
I just
but-
throw him off a little bit, thinking of you in your all together.
Oh no, no bonus zone for you.
Either,
When's what? So what date is it?
oh god, when is it? 15th of May.
Ah, shame it's not a couple of weeks earlier. We could have done a vasectomy / tattoo special at the weekend. Could you imagine? You could be next to each other.
Could you,
Get a tattoo
someone
to do
first
like a target
Get Matt
on my
instead of a
sack.
tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, could do.
Could you
Pointless.
could you imagine if we got it mixed up though, and Matt had his arse cut off, and Sean had a tattoo of a Wookiee on his balls?
I mean, that's a win-win.
Yeah.
Always get stuff mixed up.
Josh Shields, feedback for episode 446. I do feel slightly silly with my train question among the actual loving and heartfelt wishes, but I'm not changing it. Instead, I wanted to make a point about the Switch 2 reveal. My kids streamify their playtime these days, endlessly talking and reacting to banal shit when playing with friends or without. When I play with mates...
Shit.
Banal shit. With friends or without. When I play with my mates, we never talk about the game. We just chat about anything else, bar a fucked it or cheating bastard. I think the Switch 2 game chat leans into this, whereby the player is streaming to your pals, not chatting with them. That's why it is the face cutout style and the gameplay sharing, like a communal Twitch stream. It massively taps into the stream aspect of the pastime now, and I think they're on to a winner with it. Anyway, keep up the good work. Love you.
I think you're right, Josh Shields. I think you're right. I think
Yeah.
He's
if Harry
probably
gets
right.
to switch through his bedroom, I think he'll want a camera to chat to his mates at the bottom
Yeah.
while they play Fortnite and stuff.
Yeah,
I can see that being a thing, you know.
The only
assume-
problem
assume-
is
oh, sorry,
the
go on.
2 frames per second video that it seems to be putting out.
Yeah, in some ways, it's admirable that they didn't want to sugarcoat it, and there's no kind of shocks when it comes to launch day. Like, this thing looks like arse. Like, well, we showed you how bad it looks, so in one ways it's good. But I don't know, like just like you mentioned last week, and when we did that stream last month and you had all of our feeds on at once, like he's actually enjoyable to watch. I mean, yeah, I think as a chatty thing where it's just kind of in the background and you don't really care, and someone's like, oh, I'm about to get a victory royale, and then you all like switch to focus. That does make sense. Yeah.
Well, you just observe them, wouldn't you, in the game? Oh, you mean if they're not in the thing?
If they're playing different things.
If they're
Yeah,
playing
all playing
different
different
games.
Yeah.
Well, that is the one thing that
So I think
we've
that's
said
quite
for
clever.
years, isn't it? Like playing FIFA, someone turns up late. You just want to be able to watch your mates while they finish their game, but you
That's
can't
true.
at the moment, which is
Yeah.
madness, really.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's what we're going to be doing on the Switch 2, because who plays online on the Switch 2? But you know, kids do.
No,
I
at the
assume
moment.
all our kids do the streamer thing of like just fucking commentating on everything they're doing.
Not much actually. No, I don't think my boys do.
Really
I
bad
think
for it, and he barely watches YouTube.
is it?
Yeah, and it's like I don't mind it. I want him to understand the division between like look, mate, you're not entertaining anyone right now, and that's a good thing. Do you know what I mean? Like you should appreciate that this is your time to not be observed and you'll have years ahead of you where if you want to be watched by people, you want to put stuff on social media, etc., you'll have the choice to do that. But like understanding there's a meaningfully making the choice to not do that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's going to be an important skill for our kids growing up.
Yeah, be able to separate it. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but then I completed Banjo-Kazooie 25 times, so I can't really turn around to my boys and say you're doing inane shit for hours and hours and hours on end.
Were you doing like when you were doing that? Were you doing streamer commentary while you were playing Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah, it's all about Gruntilda and the Jiggies. I was talking about all of that. Went all through that. I did. I mean, it's what I said to Joe. Once you notice it, and I've said it on this show before. Once you notice it, it's infuriating how. I don't know if it's an algorithm thing or whatever, but they feel they have to say everything. I mean, like, there's another trend where a load of YouTubers watch like funny videos. You know, like, it's basically you've been framed or whatever. But with just like clips from Twitter or whatever. And they'll sit there and they'll go, okay, there's a mum walking into a room now and she's looking around and there's the guy behind her there. That was great. He was like, what? And she was like, who are you? Okay, what's this one now? It's a dad with always eating a steak. And you're like, man, what the fuck, man? Like, that is a real...
Elodie watches Ali A, who, I mean, maybe still streams games, but like she'd watched him react to funny TikToks. Another thing she's watching, and your kids probably do the same thing, is that she likes POV ones. Have you seen them? Where half the screen, it's like these women YouTubers that she watches where they're kind of doing a story, and it could be about anything, and there's like text above their heads, and it's almost basically like it's like recounting a story they've written. And on the other side of the screen, it is someone making a cake or doing nail art or like
you get that.
So it's like you put a second screening on the one screen because just listening to that girl or woman tell a story.
That's all over
TikTok.
Enough.
Yeah.
That's all over TikTok.
Yeah, she watched them on YouTube Shorts. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is literally a scientific way of getting people to stay and watch for longer. Because if you're bored of the content at the top, you might get distracted with the content at the bottom.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Your odds,
shit.
Doesn't
it? It's wild. And I mentioned a little while ago how people were getting like toys of say Bluey. And making their own stories up and filming it, as if it's a Bluey episode. They're going one step further now. Like Charlie currently watches someone describe what happens in a Simpsons episode from start to finish, the plot. And it's like, how long is it going to be before someone like clamps down on that? Because these have got like 20 million views, and it's Bart Simpson then walked into the house and got confused about Homer laying on the sofa, and it's like he's just saying what happens in a Simpsons episode. It's fucking weird, man. Anyway, we are getting old. That is what I'm realising. We are getting old and we're becoming those people that go, I just don't understand these kids these days. That's what's worrying me.
I don't know. I'm happy to die on the hill that like a lot of that shit is really bad.
I know. And your parents died on a hill that video games were terrible or something. Not yours specifically, but our the generation above us. It's like, come on, we're falling into that. We're falling into it.
No, I'm with Sean. I think a lot of it is just total shit.
I know you do, James, because you've been an 80s dad since birth, mate.
Yeah, it doesn't really add anything, but I am fascinated when you see like, okay, these are the trends for today's like youth and videos. Like it's just trying to put that through the context of what we've seen, and I find that interesting. But that's just me being a nerd. Adam has messaged, just following on from your chat about the micro SD express cards the Switch 2 is going to use. I think you're over-worrying about the situation. It sounds like first-party games are still going to be quite small in comparison to PS5/Xbox, and the 256 gigs should last a while. But also, the SD express cards are not as expensive as you were saying, as there was an official Nintendo license 256 gig card, which is just $14.99. And with all memory cards, these prices will drop as the format gets older. Great show as always. Just missing Matt. Hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, I must say I was surprised at how quickly we've seen sales on for these SD cards. And you sent a few through on the WhatsApp group, Matt. I'm going to see how the what do you call it? The the standard inbuilt memory lasts before I go and buy an expansion. But
Because again, I've still never bought an SD card for my Switch. Admittedly, I had the Switch. I was surviving by
wild,
deleting
that.
stuff, and then on OLED, it's like 64 gig. And yes, like I would have to like delete games here and there, but they download so quickly compared to Xbox and PS5. It didn't bother me at all, really. But so 256 should be fine. We'll see how that compares to larger sizes. But I don't need to rush out. I don't need to buy a card because I didn't last gen when there was hardly any storage.
These will be
also,
bigger.
there's
though,
only
'cause
one game coming out with it. So
True that.
that helps.
The games will be bigger though because they're like 4K and all that.
Yeah,
they'll be,
yeah,
so-
100%. Yeah.
People say that though, and I don't really understand what difference that makes. Running
Well,
something
it's
at
a
high
higher-
resolution doesn't mean
The
it takes up
textures
more
themselves
space.
take
the
up
texture
Textures take
sizes
up
will
more
be.
space.
Yeah.
But that's a separate thing.
Well, how did?
explain it.
Sorry, but fucking hell, Sean. Honestly, I don't know why you even. How do you not know? How did I get all the pixels in there then? It's more
Each
pixels,
pixel is 10 megabytes. And-
right? And it's 1080 compared to 4000.
Yeah.
So that if that's like 5 or 6 times the amount of pixels.
Yeah, if you're doing
It's
the maths.
It is. Sorry, it's basic maths. I should have thought about it.
Yeah, games are bigger.
Okay.
That is it for feedback.
Okay.
Go to
then
tcgs.co/dear TCGS, leave your feedback.
Let's do the news then. With James Farley, the news hound.
It is the news. I'm just a little bit worried that the news is going to get interrupted at any moment, at some point, because Rachel will have finished her shower soon, and she's just going to come crashing through the door again to go upstairs. But we'll
She's
see what
allowed to
happens.
live her life, mate.
Yeah.
I know, but she knows I'm doing this. I don't know why she does this right now.
She doesn't respect you. That's the problem. She knows you're doing a show. She doesn't care.
Basic hygiene, I think, is the reason why she does this.
And you haven't put your on-air sign out tonight,
That's
James.
true. I've
No, I
never
didn't bring it
understood
with me.
people who shower in the evening. I'm a morning shower guy.
Mate, I could
Because-
shower all day, every day.
Yeah,
I
it
could,
feels- it
I
feels
could do
nice to do
24
before
hours
bed.
in the shower.
Yeah.
I must admit, I'm a morning shower guy,
Yeah.
right? For the main part. But if I can get a shower in the evening,
We'll do it.
in and the morning, lovely old job. That's the perfect lifestyle, that.
It is
Just constantly
Yeah,
showering.
you sleep so much nicer after, shower
Dude,
bath
the
as well.
sheets feel better, don't they?
Yeah.
It's like putting on new socks.
Or new
You
sheets.
go, oh,
Or new
hello.
suits, or new underpants.
Or new sheets, yeah.
Or clothes.
Start putting on clothes, yeah.
Anyway, do you want to hear about Trump's tariffs and how it's
Yeah.
impacting our hobby?
Yes, please. Well, what's
So,
happened?
Trump's gone and done the usual thing of like you turning on a bunch of stuff, and
Yep.
so now smartphones and PCs are exempt, from these tariffs. But it turns out, so like SSDs and stuff like that, not going to be impacted anymore. But apparently, the category for video games consoles isn't included in this tariff reprieve.
Brilliant.
So it means that that obviously games consoles are still going to be affected.
Have
The
Nintendo
ESA,
commented on the pre-orders in the US yet?
no, there's been
It's now May 9th, isn't it? It's happening in
Is that
May.
when they're
instead.
saying-
Okay, so it is going
Okay.
ahead still. Same price or...
Don't know about
Okay. Okay.
so
that. Sorry, it's the 8th of May, just for getting feedback. Yeah, 8th of May. No mention of price yet.
Okay.
So the ESA have said that the Trump tariffs, they said, will have a real and detrimental impact on the video games industry as a whole. But on the plus side, it seems that the Switch cartridges will not suffer this levy for some. I guess because it's memory, and so there won't be the higher tariff on the cartridges. So it's not really very good, which then also moves into the next story, which is that Sony are announcing price rises for the PS5. So in Europe and the UK, the PS5 digital is going to be selling for, it's like £429, and there's no changes in price to the PS5 with the disc drive. That's still staying the same. And the disc drive is also being decreased in price, but the general digital edition, that's going up.
So what is it now? 400.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, what is it now? Is it like 400? Because it's gone up by.
It
It's
wasn't
£70
400. I think it was
more.
380, wasn't it, when it launched?
Yeah,
But it went up again, didn't it? After
Yeah.
that, it's the second price rise.
I read that it was £70
Oh, right. I thought
more
it was
now.
only the... Okay. I thought it was only the other one that they put the price of last time. I didn't know it was the digital as well. That's,
Yeah, I think it was across the board. They put it up.
okay.
PS5 Pro though, that's unchanged. They're not going to increase the price.
Oh, thank
of
God.
which is probably sensible. This is the quote. They said, with a backdrop of a challenging economic environment, including high inflation and fluctuating exchange rates, SIE has made the tough decision to raise the recommended retail price of the PS5 console in select markets.
Wow, you're absolutely right.
Am I right in-
429. Sorry.
Sorry, go on. I was just going to say, am I...
429.
Sorry.
Who do you think you are?
It's that thing where you're walking towards someone, and you're trying to get out of each other's way, and then you both keep going left and then right. And then
Yeah, but then when you realise that the other person's way more important than you, maybe get the fuck out of the way,
You go,
Sean.
sorry, sir. Sorry. Go on.
429. I wonder if anyone still sits at home and goes, is he being serious? so yeah, 42999 it's going up to. That is £70 more than it cost at launch.
Than at launch, yeah.
That's mad.
Wow, Sean, you should have fucking got one at launch, mate. Holy fuck.
I could have sold it and got it would have been a sound investment.
360 quid it was at launch. Fuck. That is wild, that, isn't it?
Yeah. So it is a worthy investment that we got in on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Because we used to have price drops, now price goes up. So get
I
in,
was
get
right.
in day
It's
one.
like when I wanted to get a Switch, and I said, because of Brexit and all that kind of
That's
stuff, it was,
true.
I was right. Just
Sean, can you write "now price goes up" down as an episode title, please?
I'm sure we've had that one already.
I mean, we are running out of our content, aren't we?
So
Shit,
considering
man.
this is UK, Australia, Europe,
New Zealand, yeah.
New Zealand, a couple of other places. Am I right in thinking we're all being punished for Trump's bullshit then?
Well, it might not be down to Trump, will it? I mean, his tariffs only affects items that are coming into the US.
Yeah, but isn't this like
there are items
this
from
is the
the US?
ensuing sort of
Yeah, it's like the
fuckery?
offset.
Yeah.
But yeah, why isn't it going up in the US? If that's where tariffs might be affecting it?
I think we can probably assume it will at some point. It's just at the moment they wouldn't know what to set it to because
I guess it's such a moving feast.
I don't know about you guys, and I don't want to get political here, but
No politics, David. You know
I
what?
don't think Trump's tariffs was a good idea.
looking a bit like a mistake, isn't it?
Oh God, guys, Dave's gone woke again.
Oh no, it's the mind virus.
Are cheeseburgers going up in the UK? That's what I want to know. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Are
because I
cheeseburgers
fucking love
going
a cheeseburger. I don't know, Matt. That's the question we
So
all
the
want to know.
disc
The
drive's going
answer to.
down. So that's again great news for prospective PS5 Pro buyers.
Also, I mean, PS5 Pro is not going up in price, is it, Matt? So
It's actually
That would have been
now,
hilarious
in
if
a
that had gone
way,
up.
cheaper than it was before.
But yeah, this is more incentive to buy, I think.
Yeah.
I would
Already
have
got
loved
one.
it if
You've
that had
both
gone up.
already got one. It's so
haven't.
pathetic. This little joke that you've been doing throughout the year to when you announce it the week after the prediction show. I've sussed you two out. It's
You
so
haven't
blatant
sussed
obvious.
nothing.
no, you definitely not.
James swimming in cash. He wants a fucking PS5 Pro. He's just bought one, sent Chen over with a £5 discount. And
Probably grabbed them
Matt
in the duty
Murray.
free.
He's got one
Matt
upstairs, one
Murray.
downstairs.
Matt bought one at launch. Because if you're not there day one, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, day one or death.
That's a really bad attitude, that. Day one
Okay.
or death.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
what my mum.
if there's
that's
anything
what
you
my
miss
parents
is
told
day
me.
one, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, will Xbox go up or?
It never. Well, what will
any
happen?
point.
What seems to happen with this stuff is that Sony does something like this. Everyone gets really annoyed about it and says it's terrible. Usually, about a month later, Microsoft does it, and everyone's a bit less annoyed. And then-
Really? Have
usually
they
what
put the
happens.
price up of their console? They have, haven't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
increased
It
the
was
Xbox as
it
well.
went up to 470, I think. The
But again, they
Xbox
did it.
Series X.
They did it after, after Sony had done it, and it was like,
Yeah, because no one wants an Xbox, James. It's not a reflection on people favouring Xbox. It's that no one wants. It's like when they put spinach up at Tesco's. It's like, right, but are the mini eggs staying the same? It's-
The price of an Xbox goes up in the woods and no one's around to buy one. Does it make a sound?
oh god, Xbox fans are going to get. down with
Speaking
this
of
again, aren't
Xbox,
Yeah,
actually,
I love my Xbox, actually.
Yeah,
Why
big fan.
use it all the
We
time?
know-
Although I might go off it in the next news story.
Okay, yeah.
But just on Xbox. So I was away. That's why I wasn't on the show last week, and I came back to download Blueprints, and my Xbox would not turn on. And it did turn on, and I was like, but there's no HDMI, like there's no signal. And basically, I like changed the cables. I put it in here. It worked a bit in here.
Put it in where? Sorry.
In the office, bedroom, whatever. But took it back to the lounge. Anyway, basically, I've worked out now.
My bedroom.
This is my little bedroom. I've worked out a HDMI port is basically incredibly dodgy because it's in the lounge now. If I move it a millimeter, it just stops. It's on still, but it's like the HDMI signal feed's gone.
Fuck.
It's £70 to replace a HDMI port. I don't really want to be buying a new Xbox. £70.
Pay the
like,
£70 then.
Plus, most of the Game Pass stuff you can play on your new PC.
Matt,
That's
can I just point out how insane you are? I mean, I love you. I love you.
I'm
You've
Go
got a pre-order for a £50 Nintendo Switch 2 camera.
yeah, I'm probably not
Yet
going
you're
to get
moaning
that.
about a £70 repair to the console you use all the time.
You've got a point.
Yeah, no, I probably will do. But or I can just not touch the console. But if I move
Yeah,
it,
all
Just
that.
leave it.
I'm fucked.
I had a weird issue. I thought mine was fucked actually because I had this weird issue where everyone on my friends list you couldn't see their profile pictures. It was like really odd, and then things were like loading really slowly, and I was like, "This is bizarre." So I left it a few days. I kept doing hard resets, did nothing, and then I googled it, and everyone was like, "Yeah, no, it's like this really weird glitch, and you can't get rid of it without completely wiping your Xbox and starting again." So I had to do that in the end, which is actually this day and age, wiping a games console apart from the Switch. This wiping a games console and getting everything back together again is a piece of piss. Like it's so much easier to do than it used to be because you forget because you only really set it up once, but it was all done by the app on the PlayStation and the Xbox. So you don't even need to log in. You just go app, press it, and then it just installs everything.
It's like when you get a new phone now, isn't it? And you think, oh man, I'm gonna have to transfer all my contacts.
It is, but it still takes way too long. So I got a new phone a few weeks back, and it took me like 2.5 hours to transfer my data over.
Did it transfer over your photos and your WhatsApp stuff and everything?
Yeah, but I deleted all my photos before I transferred it, so it was like, it's a bit frustrating. And also, I am now paying way more a month for a phone that I can barely tell the difference. I can barely tell the difference. I think I'm done with buying phones, to be honest with you, Sean.
I've been off the flagship treadmill for years now.
Is your cat phone or whatever it was, is that still available
That's
for
free.
purchase?
Yeah, do you want it?
Yeah, it's free.
That's actually gone up in price. That's £70 now.
Okay, then you can shove it. Next week, it's in
good, it would
demand. No, it fucking
Sorry,
wouldn't.
I've been talking a lot about stuff going up bombs this week. I don't know what's going on.
Very excited. It's the okay.
It's because I'm 40 now. I'm trying to sound relevant and edgy.
Oh, is that it?
I think I might have more time, guys. Am I right?
Okay.
Okay, next story. So it's BDS calling for a boycott of Microsoft and Xbox gaming products because of alleged Israeli military connections. So this is it's the boycott, divestment and sanctions movement. And they're calling on people to cancel Game Pass subscriptions, avoid Microsoft-owned video game properties like Minecraft and Call of Duty, and also to boycott all of Microsoft gaming and Xbox-branded products, in protest because of the company's, reported business connections with the Israeli military. And this follows allegations in January about the Israeli military's usage of the Azure cloud technology and artificial intelligence products and involving the invasion of Gaza. And this is according to it's a joint investigation between The Guardian, Israeli-Palestinian publication Plus 972, I think that is the magazine, and a Hebrew language outlet called Local Call. And they also did additional reporting with DropSite News, and they said that Microsoft had deepened their relationship with the Israeli defense establishment since October in 2023. And so they allege that Microsoft are using technology with the Israeli security forces to manage things like population registry and movement of Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza. And they also claim that Microsoft have supplied like a whole suite of communications and messaging systems for managing data banks of potential airstrike targets and things like that. And that they've also been giving them access to OpenAI's GPT-4, for using AI. And so, according to DropSite, also two former Microsoft employees, it's Abdo Mohammed and Hossam Nasir, they were instrumental in sort of driving the call for this boycott, and then they were fired, by Microsoft. Microsoft got rid of them after they organised a vigil for Palestinians killed in Gaza outside Redmond in Washington. And then also there was the other week we talked about this. There was the protests at the 50th anniversary event, and those two people, I believe, also have been fired as well. So yeah, it's that is something which is happening at the moment.
And there's more information on that on bdsmovement.net if you're interested and want to read about what the BDS movement is. You can go over and check it out on that website.
Yeah, grim. I mean, we were talking about this briefly before the show, and we were saying, in a way, it's not a huge surprise because we reported. I mean, it was a few years ago. There was the stuff about HoloLens being used for military stuff, and people within Microsoft were like, "I didn't know this is what it was even going to be used for, and I worked on this, and now I feel scummy as hell." So yeah, it's grim, and like sacking people for holding a vigil. Like that's not even a protest. That's just showing some fucking respect. That's yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
grim.
technology is used obviously in wars across the whole globe, but that's one thing. But then for the fact they're actually like specifically deepening their ties together, and also just declined to comment on the whole thing as well.
Yeah.
So they can't even like really defend themselves
Really
or give their point of view. I don't know. The whole thing is just horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Should we move on to the
Yeah.
next bit? Which is, so this is a correction, kind of, I guess, from last week. So Switch 2 edition games will be complete on the card without a download, according to Nintendo. But this is for like original first-party Switch games. They'll have Nintendo are going to be putting like the full game on the card without the download. But third-party titles, this may not be the case. It depends on the publisher whether they want to do that or whether they want to just do it as a download key. So that's
Mad that this even. So if this was never true, who at Nintendo told? Because this was definitely something that was doing the rounds, and someone.
Yeah, because it came from like a chat technical person, didn't it? I think when Imperial someone was asking, it was confirmed or spoken about that way. But
Yeah, Nintendo have never been good at comms, have they?
Comms has always been a problem in terms of software. They've always been really good at comms. You're exactly what you're getting from a game when it's coming out, and I think that they've nailed that. The Nintendo Directs are incredible. The way they present that stuff is fantastic. Hardware and business side of things, communicating that to the consumer is shit. Like for example, the digital cards. They didn't explain that well enough. That no, not all of your games are going to turn into this. You could be selective with which ones you do this with, and there'll be benefits from that, and there'll be restrictions from that. But overall, we think giving you the choice is the right way to do it, and that's fine. Like that is fine. But instead, they sort of presented this thing and then said all these restrictions, and it was like, well, that's worse than what we've got. It's a communication thing. They're not very good at it. I think that's really clear, and it's been about from Nintendo for ages. The card thing I found strange. A lot of people were against what I was saying last week, and I still don't quite get it. But this just seems like the best of both worlds, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So this will work on both. You buy a Switch 2 edition of the game, it will work. It will be a Switch 2 edition of the game, not a Switch edition of the game, but it will work on both consoles. Is that right?
That appears to be the case, yeah.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
I
But
mean,
again,
it says
it
here,
still
but
appears to be the case.
But it says
It's so
here, even in that
frustrating.
statement, they are exclusively Nintendo Switch 2 game cards. with no
I'm
download
not
code.
sure it does work on an
So
original
does,
maybe it
Switch.
that to me
doesn't,
says it doesn't
See,
work on
I
Switch
think
One.
that's worse. I think that's worse. I think you're buying a Switch game that you cannot play on the Switch. That's
Well,
the
you're
way
buying
it
a Switch
feels to
too,
me.
Yeah, you're buying the updated version. That's what you're buying
Right,
it for.
yeah, but you're not though. Are you? You're playing. I don't know. I don't know. Okay,
It does make me nostalgic. Do you remember when this generation launched and Xbox were just like, yeah, you just download the game, you'll get the best version of the game.
Yeah. So, and Sony completely fucked all that shit up as well,
Yeah.
didn't they? Like on the PlayStation, it was a total mess. You didn't even know what version of the game you were downloading. And yeah, you're right. This is what makes you angry that Microsoft failed so badly this generation, in that they had ideas where it was just like whatever it was, you got the right version of the game. You know, it's so frustrating that that's not a thing, but I suppose they were trying to do that because they were in last place and they were trying to claw things back, and it wasn't enough. Man, it sucks.
Okay, final story. Bungie showed off quite a lot of marathon, well, bits of marathon, I guess, at an event last week. And so this is like this is coming out, it's the 23rd of September, and there's going to be a closed alpha in April, on 23rd of April. And it's an extraction shooter, as we've seen. And there's 6 classes, although there's only 4 that they've shown so far. And it's coming to PC on Steam, obviously PS5 and Xbox Series X and S with cross-play and cross-save. But also, you won't need a PSN account to play it. They're not going to do that. They're going to just allow anybody to play it. I watched the trailers for this. I thought it looked good. I mean, it looked visually.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
I adore the art style. I'm just very wary of the fact that it's a PvP extraction shooter. Now, apparently, the aim is to find like a new audience for it. It's not trying to take people away from Tarkov or whatever, because that's so well established and it's huge and it's incredibly hardcore. This is apparently supposed to be not more casual as such, but certainly a way in for people to the genre. Which, okay, that could be me. I just hate the idea of playing something that looks and feels like Destiny, but if another player kills me, I lose everything I earned for the last half hour or whatever. I don't know.
That's never really been the case of more casual extraction shooters, though, is it? I mean, you look at something like Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
You were still gaining experience and getting bits and
that's
pieces
true.
during that game. If they follow that model, I think it'd be fine. Can I say something about this that may be a bit obvious and pointless? I think looking at the trailer and looking at the gameplay trailer, if this was made by pretty much any other studio, no one would give it a second look. It would be one of those that will come out and people go, "Oh, that came out, did it?"
It's true. Like watching the footage and stuff, I'm thinking, yeah, this looks cool, but because I have the faith that it will feel like Destiny, which is best in class,
which is
for
legitimate.
sure.
It's Bungie, and they're very, very good at these games. So that in itself is exciting, right? And that in itself justifies you thinking, "Oh no, there's more to this. This is going to be better than the others that I've played." But if you take Bungie away from that, which you shouldn't, because it is being made by Bungie, but if you do take them away from that, this would be one of those games where it's like, this looks like a bunch of other games that I didn't bother playing.
Well, I
Do you know
mean,
what I mean?
some
It doesn't
people,
look. It hasn't got that hook. It hasn't got that. The hook is the developer, right?
Yeah.
It's not anything you're seeing within the game.
As good as this looks, you don't look at it and be like, "That's why Sony spent $3 billion on them." Like that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so some people have mentioned Concord in speaking about this, saying like, is this another Concord? I mean, to just follow up from what you said, Sean. Yeah, I think like design-wise, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Like the use of really vibrant colors, like the way you use fonts, like the designs of like the armor. I think it looks absolutely stunning in that regard. And yeah, basically because it's Bungie, we know it's going to play amazingly well. Yeah, I mean, I guess other than a bit of Helldivers, a little bit of the Dark Zone from the Division. Haven't really done much in the way of extraction shooters. And like the idea sounds interesting, sounds exciting. This is like maximum 3 players. So yeah, I mean, again, this is me showing my lack of knowledge about extraction shooters. I thought they had kind of NPCs in as well that you would almost like like on like a game like Dota. What are they called? Where So it's like
mobs or whatever.
Bots.
They are.
mobs. Yeah. So like, other people in the environment to kill as well, but there
But they
really
call
is
them
also
AI now, don't they? They call
But
them
they
AI.
said this is going to have that though, because they said there'd be like
Yes.
security forces and things like that.
Yeah,
in the
so
game.
Oh,
it
yeah,
does
so it
have
won't just be
NPCs.
PvP. Okay.
Yeah, and apparently they're really tough as well. So what I've heard from people who were at this event was that you get put in the map with your team of 3, and it has to be a team of 3, which is don't know how I feel about that. Like you can't.
Well,
just play your own.
James doesn't turn up to any other
That's
thing
true,
you do.
yeah,
so
yeah.
So you're saying you
everything
can't
fine.
play a solo?
You can't play solo. There's no solo mode.
Oh,
or
they
no
said
solo
there
queuing.
was in the trailer I watched. They said you can go solo.
Yeah, they
as
did
well.
say that.
No,
Yeah.
you can join a team, but you can't play on your own. You can, like, it
Oh,
will
but
put
it
you in
does
a
say
team
you
with
can
2
go
other
as a
people.
lone wolf in
Yeah.
the trailer. Yeah.
It was the video I watched said that is not an option. Apparently they tried it and it didn't work. And
Did we do?
so,
Did we watch 2 different? Did you watch 2 different videos and one of them said?
okay, no, everyone in
can
the chat saying you can
definitely
play
play.
solo. All right, go have a word with Skill Up on YouTube.
Right.
He said
Did you not
cannot
watch
play
the
solo.
actual Bungie video?
What, sorry?
Who's Skill Up?
He's a
You never watched
YouTuber.
any Skill Up stuff? He's a really good YouTuber. Yeah.
Well, don't sound it. He's
Right,
getting all
okay,
his
so you
details
can
wrong.
play solo, but the game isn't built for it, apparently. That's
Okay.
Okay, fine.
But you
So
can
I've
play
probably,
solo.
I've probably just embarrassed Skill Up by misunderstanding what he said as well. So this is going really well. Yeah, so basically there are things, so you'll be given like objectives and the stuff you can do, and the idea is obviously as you go about these objectives you will run into other players, but apparently you don't necessarily run into other players as often as you might like, because apparently like the PvP fighting is really good, because it's, you know, same as it was in Destiny, more or less. Yeah, so apparently people have been playing it and being like, oh, I actually would like to encounter other players more than the NPCs, but it's mostly NPC stuff. I don't know, it looks fine. I think launching with only 6 classes and is it 3 maps with another one coming in the first season seems a bit stingy, but then I don't, as not an extraction shooter guy, I don't know how substantial like a map is. Maybe, you know, there's tons of stuff to find and learn and stuff.
Well, they said they were going to. It was all going to be done in seasons, isn't it? So maybe there'll be like new season,
add
new
stuff
maps
as it
new
goes.
content,
But then
all
they
that
are
content.
charging full whack for it.
Yeah,
on
70
release.
quid with 3 maps.
Is it? Because I had a look, because they said it was going to be premium priced, but then that presumably then does mean 70 quid or whatever.
Possibly,
Which
yeah.
So their tweet says Marathon will be a premium title. Marathon will not be a full price title.
Okay.
So
so
60.
maybe they'll do.
Who knows?
If they're, you would hope that they'll do a Helldivers, and it'll be like around. What was the Helldivers? That was
like 30 quid. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I can't say being that low. Well, I mean, maybe I guess. I mean,
Why not?
Because Sony have got 3 billion to make back on this.
Yeah, I don't think they're pinning it on this though. I think Bungie might be working on something else.
Well, didn't they have other projects that have been binned, or is that, I can't remember if that was because I know when they let a load of staff go, wasn't it confirmed that there was a few side projects they cut as well? Can't remember.
Possibly. I'd be amazed if they weren't working on a new Destiny. Though, have they confirmed they're not?
I don't think they've confirmed one way or the other.
yeah,
They have to
they've
work
got
on
to
some
work.
new Destiny. Yeah.
It's got to be. I'm sure it's got to be. Then that's what they're pinning their money on. You know. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
and this game might be brilliant.
All right, James.
No,
Can't hear him. Yeah,
James, you're
can't hear
muted.
him. I think he knows he's
Right,
muted.
okay, bear with us, everyone. We'll have a quick break.
I might get a drink.
How long are you out there for?
He's there for like 2 weeks, right? I'm going to get a drink.
Yep, get drunk.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay, now the only thing is my recording stopped as well. It just
Whereabouts
stopped.
did it stop?
It stopped at
Alright, well then
57
we'll-
minutes 46.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. About a minute ago. We'll stop recording and then export.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do that.
This must be it must be the cable is not great.
Try and get yourself a new cable for next week.
Yeah, I will do that. Okay, so if I save this one and export and then...
Yeah, we need to save and export what we've done. Oh, here we go. Need to save and export what we've done, Sean.
Oh, right, okay.
His
That's it. Podcast done. See you later, everyone.
Wicked. All right, nice.
See you on Monday.
Thanks for living it.
As James's recording stopped, is that what it is?
Yeah, it stopped at 57
Ah, there you are. Hello.
minutes. Sorry, guys. It's
It's all right. It does sound like it's a dodgy USB
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, that's
isn't
what
it?
he was saying. He reckons it's a dodgy USB cable. Hull equalised against Coventry in the last 5 minutes. It is on. We are 3 points outside the playoffs with 4 games to go. James, imagine.
I'm praying that it's going to happen because I want it so badly, David. Honestly, I think it'll be so good.
It's going to be awful. It will be week after week of scandal.
I know, but it'd be brilliant.
At least you won't miss bad Southampton, though. Like football-wise.
I don't care about that.
I think we would get the lowest. I think we'd get the lowest points total of all time. I
just want to hear all the
believe
pundits. Like, you don't think this.
Oh, this is all absolutely disgraceful.
You don't want to see this at this level in the game.
Disgraceful scenes.
Well, I mean, it sums it up, doesn't it? You know, that our goalkeeper got in all that trouble.
He almost killed Matessa.
Yeah, but then when your player did it, absolutely fine. A couple of weeks later, look at that.
Oh, did that person get his ear almost ripped off?
Oh, so it's about the injury, is it? That's what the punishment should be based on,
Well,
not the intent.
I think it was...
Kicked a bloke in the head, mate. Do you know what? It's
fine.
funny because
We
we were with the other dads, and that was it. It was you know there was that the Everton tackle on the Liverpool player. Like it was a really bad tackle, like up by the knee. They were talking about that while watching. Yeah, they were talking about that while watching the kids train. And they turned around and said, "Did you see it, Dave?" And these were Palace fans, but "Did you see it, Dave?" I went, "Yeah, worst thing I've ever seen on a football pitch." And they all looked at me like in an angry way, right? And I just went, "Oh yeah, sorry, you trademarked that one, didn't you?" Fucking hell! I love whining people. There's nothing better. Nothing better. Having a little pop. I cannot wait to see you after you're knocked out of the FA Cup, Matt. And then knowing that you've got to get a Wookiee tattoo the very next day.
I know, bad, isn't it?
James, I've just loaded up Instagram. You know, you were moaning about your kids earlier. Is it Ash's birthday today?
It is his birthday, yeah.
Have you changed mics, James?
No.
Okay. Yeah, you sound really distant.
Hang on.
Yeah, Ash's birthday, so yeah.
Any better?
Cool.
No.
I've changed literally nothing. Oh.
Let's have a look in video. Yeah, he's using his razor.
Yeah.
Have you repositioned it? Have you moved it slightly while you were...
I mean, yeah, hang on. I did turn it... How's that? Is that better?
Oh, yeah.
Turn it the wrong way around.
No.
If you turn it away from you, yeah.
No, the reason I did that was because of the cable, because I didn't want the cable like pushing into the computer so it accidentally disconnects. But yeah, I'm not touching anything. I'm just going to sit here like this. It's fine.
Happy birthday, Asher.
Yeah, it's his birthday. Yeah.
Get out of the room.
That wasn't him, that was Rachel.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Don't worry, he doesn't know when his fucking birthday is, that poor kid. What was it? Someone said, I think it was John Denner turned around to me and said, "I still can't believe that you dig him out to that, about that to this day."
He's right.
It happened like 4,000 years ago and you still talk about it. Right, okay, where were we up to? Are we all exported and ready to go again?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Where were we up to? What were we just talking about?
So had we finished talking about marathon? Oh, we're still talking about marathon, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. We were talking about what Bungie are doing now. I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Ready?
Cool.
Bear with me. Everyone hit record. 3, 2, 1.
Matt.
I mean, they've got to be working on a new Destiny, haven't they? Like, I mean, sure. Have they said that if they are or not? Have they sort of counted that out?
I don't think they are. And
But Nelly in the chat says they're not making Destiny 3.
Yeah.
But
It would make more
How's
sense
he
to
know?
keep supporting Destiny. Yeah, he works there.
He
Probably.
works on.
Which
Right,
Uncle does.
right, okay.
You would think it would make more sense to keep supporting Destiny 2, but they appear to have. I don't know,
Yeah, but
dropped
that's got to
that.
be dying down, right? Like the
That's been
play,
for a
like
while, I
when
think.
does it become diminishing returns?
Yeah.
They're making more Destiny 2. No, they're not. I thought they'd drawn a line under it. I thought
No,
they
no,
were
no,
done.
no. That was just the Dark and Light saga, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're always going to do more Destiny 2, but you also would assume they were making Destiny 3 or something in the background while they're continuing the last chapter or so.
That's what I think. That's what I think Sony bought them for, not Marathon. I don't think they bought them for Marathon.
Well, I didn't think they bought them for either. I thought they bought them for their knowledge of running games of service for 10
I
years.
think they're running.
I mean, that's what it's like. What do they call like an acquire? It's more like the people and the skills rather than the IP. Obviously, the IP is a nice benefit, but it's like the fact they've got this.
People.
Well, yes, that does kind of go against things somewhat, but the fact that I have been delivering this game for 11 years or so, that's what you'd assume. But because that team helped out on. I'm sure they mentioned that they helped out with a little bit with
They helped out on
Helldivers,
Helldivers, didn't they? Yeah.
maybe Concord, who knows? But yeah.
Ooh. Don't
But
take
yeah,
that one off the CV.
So apparently, Marathon is like 6 months from launch, and maybe this is not why anyone's going to play it and nobody cares. There currently is no story in it yet. It has not been written, and it's going to be basically like the cards in Destiny. That's how they're going to deliver
The
story.
Grimoire all
Do
over
you
again.
do you need a story?
Not
don't
for
know
an
I
if you
mean,
need a
extraction
story.
shooter,
for most
but-
extraction shooters, I would say no. But if the whole point is this wants to bring in a new audience and an audience who liked Destiny, I would say it's probably quite important.
But also, it's a new audience. It's also an audience that enjoyed Marathon as well, like the original games. There is,
how many-
it's a small
No,
audience.
how big
obviously.
that Venn diagram?
No, it's a small audience, obviously, but there is a lot of lore there, and
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
there's
yeah,
a lot
totally.
of backstory and everything. And this is why I think a lot of people were kind of upset, that this ended up being an extraction shooter rather than another.
Is Dave saying he's a big Marathon guy?
I'll be honest, I didn't even know there were other marathon games.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. But what's what they did before Halo?
Yeah, in
If
1994.
you've heard of that.
Only came out on Mac. They were like, because that was when Bungie were like Mac developers.
They only
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out on that. We don't need to worry about their fans, James. We don't need to worry about their fans, mate.
Come on, there's loads of games there. There's Breakout and Super Breakout and stuff.
Is that it for news?
That is it for the news, yeah.
Good. Let's get to what you've been playing. We have all been playing one game. It's called Blueprints. Sean's played the most of it, and he's been talking about it for quite some time. Do you want to take the lead on this?
Yeah, I can do. I'll recap because it was a good sort of 4 or 5 months since the demo was out there, and I talked about it then. But Blueprints is a game where you are a child who has been you've inherited this mansion. You've got a letter
Or
from
are
your great
you?
uncle. Well,
Or have you?
Or have you? Or is it a mansion? Or is he your great uncle? Your great uncle's written you a letter saying, "Look, you can have this mansion."
Or did he write a letter?
But
I was going to stop then, Matt. I was going to stop.
And that's the difference between the two comedians here.
Matt's not afraid
Done.
to push the envelope. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
And your
is
uncle's
it?
written, he said, you can have this mansion,
Oh, come on.
but in order to inherit it, you need to find the 46th room, right?
Or does
And
he?
you're and they're like, well, that doesn't sound too bad. How could that? How fucking difficult can it be? You enter the house, you play it in first person, you walk in the house, you're in the entrance hall, and that's where you find the letter from your great uncle and everything. There's 3 doors you can walk through. You walk through a door, and it's like, right, what room do you want on the other side? You get a choice of 3 rooms, and then you pick one of those rooms, and then the door opens, and bang, that's whether it's a toilet or a dining room or whatever. And you realise as you progress through the house, you are essentially building the floor plan of this mansion, right? You bring up the pause menu and you can see it's on this grid. And if you look at the grid, and if you're a big old maths whiz, you go, hang on a minute, there's only 45 squares on this. I've been told to find the 46th room. How can that be possible? Is this some sort of smart mystery I'm going to have to unravel? Goodness me. The depth and layers of mad little puzzles and mysteries that you uncover in this game is fucking unbelievable. It's, I think, like, it's been quite polarizing, right? All the reviews were like through the roof, and it's like the highest rated game of the year so far on Metacritic or whatever.
Yeah, and we'll come back to that, I think, because I think that's an interesting thing. And you're absolutely right. This has been one of those games that has performed way better with the critical response than it has from the general playing population. You know, it's been. I've found it really interesting because people either. It's a really strange reaction to it, and I think you're right. I think I do wonder if this speaks to a very specific type of gamer, and when it comes to reviewing these sort of games, that specific type of gamer wants to review it. And that's not to diminish what this game does, and we'll get into what this game does. But I do think that and it's hard to explain, isn't it? Because I am nowhere into this. I'm like 5 to 6 hours into this, so I don't know how good it gets, right? But hearing from a fan of these style of games review a game and they're at the end of it, it's kind of like, right, but that doesn't help me now. At the moment, I'm confused and frustrated.
The other major element of this we didn't get into, so as you're walking around the house, you're placing these rooms, you're sort of plotting it out. You can, for starters, you can get it wrong and you can just block yourself in if you're not paying attention. But also, you have a certain amount of energy each day as you're walking around the house. There are ways to replenish it a bit, but broadly speaking, it runs out. And then at the end of each day, you start again. You go back to the beginning of the house, everything's been reset, and you're plotting a new plan out for the building. And yeah, as I say, it's going to be a fucking nightmare for us to talk about because your progression in this is so non-linear. I've had conversations with friends who've spent 3 times as long as me on it, and I've gone, oh man, I've just found this, thinking that they'll have found it because they've spent way more time on it, and they're like, sorry, what? What the fuck is that? I didn't know that was. And I'm like, oh shit, I've spoiled it for them.
Someone. Well, I don't know if it's a spoiler specifically, but I was listening to a podcast about it today, and someone said, "Oh yeah, one of the first items you get, just as an example, it's really early in the game. You get the magnifying glass," and I was like, "What?
The what now?
I am 7 hours into this, and I have not seen the magnifying glass yet." But okay.
It's and the magnifying glass is huge. Like I really. Because it's kind of a
I know exactly what it's for when I heard one was in the game, and it's frustrating the hell out of me. Yeah,
yeah. When I had my first run where I found the magnifying glass, the subsequent runs where I didn't find one, I was like, "Fuck it, I really want that magnifying glass." Yeah,
it's kind of essential for so many parts.
Yeah, I think what's interesting about this is it's it's like it's like a bit of a roguelike, but it's like a sort of Myst style puzzle game. But it's not like if you're not into either of those, or if you're not into one or the other of those, you'll struggle with this. It's not like, hey, well, if you like roguelikes, maybe you'll get into the Myst stuff, or if you really like Myst stuff, maybe it'll introduce you to roguelike stuff. I think you have to be up for both.
You are so spot on. You need to want exactly what this game is offering. Yeah, and if you do, this will be your game of the year. Yeah. If you don't, then you will really struggle with this. And when I saw the reviews coming through, I was like messaging my friends and saying, "Oh, have you seen this? This is doing really well." And now knowing what I know about the game and having played it for 6-7 hours, I'm like, I don't want them to go anywhere near this because I know... Like, for example, John, I love John, and this isn't a slight on him at all. He will last 10 minutes in this game and just go, fuck this, and then that's it. Yeah. And also, I should say this, because I do want to talk about my experience as well with the game. But the advice that is being given out about this game is shit. Because the people that are giving out the advice about the game and how you should play it are at the end of it. So they are they're playing a completely different game to what you play for the opening few hours of this, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to pass this on for anyone that's going to pick this up or start playing this within the next week or so, because I think I know the best advice to give you to start off with, right? I watched things you should know before you start playing video. I had absolutely no idea what this game was about. I played 2 days worth. So everything's done in days, as Sean says. If you run out, if you can end a day at any point, but also if you run out of energy, the day ends and you restart. I did about 2 days worth, and I was like, I don't get it. Right? So I watched the things you should do when you start off playing it. And the advice I was given was, firstly, go outside and look around a lot. Push the limits of outside, right? And the other one was, when you enter a room, stay in that room for as long as you can and search every little corner of that room. That is the worst advice I could possibly be given, because the next 2 or 3 days was so fucking boring and dull that I was like, fuck this game, I don't want to play it again. This is awful, right? If this is what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm not getting anything out of it. It only started improving, and this is what I think you should do if you're starting the game. Try and get as high up the grid as possible. Yeah. Just lay down rooms. Don't even look for puzzles. Just lay down rooms and try and get as high up as the grid as possible. I thought this was, going in based off that video that I watched, I thought this was an escape room where all the rooms interact with each other, and in every room there's a big puzzle that I should be finding. I found 2 puzzles in about 20 rooms and was going, well, I'm missing stuff and I don't know what I'm missing and I don't know what the game. But once I dropped looking for puzzles, they started presenting themselves naturally.
Yeah.
This is something that is really important with playing a new video game, and it's trust. And you can't always trust a game. You can't always trust a game, and especially if the game doesn't set its stall out at the start. And in a way, this game does. Like, in a way, it doesn't tell you going in, hey, this is a big environmental puzzle game. It says you've got to lay the rooms down and you've got to get to the top, which is what I thought you had to do. It's not really, because I got to the top and nothing happened. But like, it sort of, it gives you that. So do that. But at the same time, I'm like, but isn't this a mad puzzle game with loads of different secret hidden things in it? And I can't find any of them. I was getting so frustrated. And the only advice I've got is, if you're starting to play this, don't look for the puzzles initially. You will come across a few, and you would try a few. And as Sean says, it's so non-linear in so many ways. Firstly, the rooms that you spawn are randomized anyway, but also, like, again, on this podcast that I was listening to, they were talking about the dart puzzle.
Oh yeah.
One of them was going, I still don't know how to do it. And I was like, it was in the first room I walked into, and I knew exactly what it was asking me to do, exactly what it was asking me to do without thinking of anything. And I just, that's not me being brainy, it's just how my mind works. And they mentioned something else about another puzzle in that room, and I was like, I haven't even seen that. So there's a lot going on.
There are so many layers.
Don't look for it. Don't look for it on day one. Don't look for it on the first 5 days. Just try and get to the top of the grid and treat it like a little, space management puzzle game for a little bit, until you start coming across things and it points you in the right direction naturally.
Because I think
that's
as well,
how you appreciate the game, I think.
Yeah, because as you say, when you first start, so when you first start the game, you're told to look for this presumably hidden room, but you can see on the map there's this room at the very top called the antechamber, and you sort of assume, all right, I'm probably trying to get there, right?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and so initially, you might have a couple of runs where you're like, why didn't you get anywhere fucking near it? That was a waste of time. But once you sort of 5-10 days in to the game, you start realizing that, like, progression is measured in so many, or could be measured in so many ways in this game. Sometimes you'll do a run and you'll just get a new room, and you're like, oh shit, that's quite interesting. And you might not, there might be a puzzle in that you might not solve it, you might not have the means to solve it, but you're like, right, fuck, that's got me thinking about something else now. And sometimes you'll do a run where you're just like, man, I placed shitloads of rooms and I got loads of coins and I bought stuff, and that just felt productive. And sometimes you'll find there's like really rare rooms that you can uncover. You might have a run where you're like, oh shit, I think I've just worked out how to get this room to appear. Even though it's always like semi-random, but there are certain conditions you can put in place to make certain rooms more likely to appear, right? and so you start getting your head around stuff like that. Sometimes you'll uncover a new mystery, and as I say, you might not be able to do it there and then, but it just gets you thinking. You're like, right, shit, I'm now aware this is a thing, or this is a level on which I can be thinking about this. It's fucking strange.
Also, your
Yeah.
objective changes. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
go
yeah.
right. I'm totally focused on a puzzle at the moment and working it all out, and that's all I'm focusing on. I'm not looking. I'm not looking to try and get up the grid anymore. I'm looking at spawning specific rooms in specific areas because I'm trying to work out a puzzle, and that's cool. Like I like that. It feels like a fluid game with fluid objectives, and it's not treating it like a quest marker. It is literally
No way,
you know,
yeah. It's whatever you want. I mean, I've got so many things. I mean, I think everyone who's played this game for any length of time has written those in notes, and I've got like chapters almost within my notes now. I've got like a massive to-do list of here's all the mysteries that I found, and here's what I
I'll
need
cover
to
up the stuff that I've worked out. But
I know
yeah,
exactly what that
Yeah,
is.
so I you know that grid thing, I did it using a table in iOS Notes. Anyway, but yeah, like there are so many kind of layers and so many like things you might say. Okay, well, my maximum one to do this is actually like to get to his puzzle or to get his rooms to appear to do that puzzle, and I must have like 15, 20 things I want to get done. My current thing is just trying to get as many of the rooms open. I think I've played between 20 and 25 hours, and I still have not got into the antechamber. I've done things to like maybe open it, but
25 hours.
well, it says. So there's a room you can go to in a house that tells you detailed stats about how much you've played and seen and
Is there
done.
really? What's it
Yeah.
called?
It's the library.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've spawned.
So if
that
you go
one.
there's a book that tells you kind of length of time played, like at longest run, etc., etc. And I think that says like 26 hours, but that probably doesn't allow for like pausing or whatever. But between 20 and 25, haven't got into the antechamber. I've opened it, but nobody nowhere near it, or I've got close and haven't been able to get into it. So there are the more you discover, the more complex it feels, and just like layers and layers and layers upon things. So, okay, not only do I have to get there, I need to have certain things open, I need to have certain rooms in play in order to unlock other rooms, in order to see other things, to get to other bits. It's really, really intimidating. But then, like, I mean, Outer Wilds was what was like that as well, with like the amount of things you were attempting to do in like 18 or 20 minutes. But there's so many things to see and do. Yeah, like my notes are massive. Then my to-do list is massive. Then all like the kind of various puzzle solutions are massive. I mean, just on the dartboard one, like I before I found the room where you see the dartboard, I saw a note saying, "Oh, I've heard about your game of darts, and it's played in a certain way." And I was like, "Okay, cool." But then like. So I am loving this game, but one kind of thing that does annoy me is that every time I go in that room, that dartboard puzzle kind of you have to keep doing it if you want the reward behind it, and it's getting like really complex now. And I kind of wish sometimes I wish I can't be bothered to do the dart thing. Not like
What was the bit that got complex? Because there's one. Like,
well,
I never thought I was good at maths, but I think I'm decent at maths now.
I was
mainly
thinking that.
mainly through work or whatever.
Yeah.
But the moment I saw the bullseye, I was like, I know exactly what that is.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what that was, and I'm like, boom! I know I can piss this. Honestly, I could do a whole game of those dart puzzles. Like really,
So I really like the parlor game one as well. With the 3 boxes.
yeah, your parlor game was good. Yeah,
they're
I
really
got that wrong. I've done it about 15 times. I got it wrong once, and I was fuming that I got it wrong once. Fuming, yeah. And can I ask you something? We're going to more opinions in a bit, but I've been itching to... Because actually, I don't like the way I've been playing this, specifically because we've been avoiding talking about it with each other.
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough
And it
one to
annoys me,
discuss,
actually,
really.
because I want to talk about it. Like,
It's not, because on the one hand, you're worried about spoiling it for people, whereas actually, I think there's probably a lot of merit in it. Like, if you've got like a small group of people who are all playing it,
and all know each
sharing
other.
notes and stuff might be really fun.
Yeah.
Because you're going to find different stuff, and
Just because I know a level of clue to give you guys, like, next time you're in the observatory, why not look at that? Just like little clues like that, and then you go, that piques your interest and it keeps you going. And I must admit, I was playing this last night, and I thought, yeah, I'm done. I'm not getting to the next bit, and I'm not enjoying it. Like, I'm not seeing what's so amazing about it.
What day are you on?
6 hours in, like day 11, I think, 12,
Okay,
something like that. I've got to the antechamber once, but it was a brick wall, and I was like, well, okay,
Yeah.
why am I here? This was what I was working towards, or whatever. And then I got the foundation room. Have you got
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
Have you worked it out?
No, not yet.
You've not worked out how to use a lift?
Nope.
Oh yeah. That yes. But,
Don't say anything.
You know, of course not.
When I worked out how to work lift, which was literally just before I came online to record this podcast, I went, oh my God, that opens up so many options to things that might be possible that I didn't even consider. I didn't even consider it was a thing. And when I worked out how to operate the lift, I went, and I did it by accident. It was complete fluke. And even when I did it, I was like, oh, that's weird that this works, but okay. And then when I looked at something, I went, that's why it works. Oh my fucking God. I wish I could talk to you about it.
Yeah,
but
it's tough,
I
isn't it?
probably
And I should say as well, like, if you're listening to this and you've not played it and you're like, this sounds like an absolute arseache, like, I promise you are smart enough to play this. It does take a lot of
Seriously, yeah.
patience.
It's not a hard game.
And you've got to be all right writing stuff down. Again, I know some people that's a complete turn off and like, all right. But if you can just be patient and observant and you can write stuff down, you will be fine. Like, the complexity, it does get very complex, but you're free to sort of take whichever level of that complexity you want at any one time, really. Probably it gets... maybe I'll eat my words in another, after another 10 hours of it. But yeah, so far I've not felt overwhelmed as such.
I'm not overwhelmed. Well, maybe I'm starting to get there because I haven't, like I said, I haven't got into antechamber. I haven't got to, that room that, it seems like is the main target of the whole game. But now I'm like, okay, well, I've got to get all these rooms open and then I've got to do certain things in certain orders in order to get other things open. I'm like, bloody hell, this is going to take a lot of planning for me to actually activate. And also, there's a lot of RNG about this. So you might not even get the things you need to get to, unless, what you said earlier, actually, Sean, piqued my interest. If there are things I can do to make certain rooms and certain items maybe appear more frequently, then that's great. Because right now it feels so random. Like, oh, brilliant, I got that key, which means I can do that. But if I didn't, it would have been a shit run, even if I would have planned everything as much as I could and try and get the rooms in a certain way, give me lots of options for ways up the grid. But if I don't get a certain item or don't get a certain key, I'm like, well, guess I was never going to do it in the first place. But even
there's a lot of frustration there, I think, that you need to take on board as well, because there's things like you'll walk around and you'll find a padlock with 4-digit code, and then you look around and there's millions of 4-digit codes, and it's like that stuff's annoying because it's like, what, am I writing all of these down? What am I doing? Am I trying all of these? And I think the game is good enough to explain when it's relevant and when it's not. However, when you're going through that process, again, it's all about trust, and you will never 100% trust a game. There's a bit that you and I spoke about, Sean, where we're like, is that a glitch or is that a puzzle?
Yes.
And that's, great if it's a puzzle, but at the same time, it looks like a fucking glitch. And that's strange. Yeah. But I think, so there's that. And also, I think the other thing you need to take on board when starting to play Blueprints is that this has been getting 9s and 10s everywhere. Do not go into it thinking it's a 9 or a 10 game. I think my opinion may change towards the end of the game. It certainly did with a game like Split Fiction, for example, where I was like, this is a 7, 8 to no, this is a 9 based on the last hour or so. So there's every chance that my number in my head would go up. But from what I've played so far, it's a 7, maybe an 8. Do you know what I mean? And that's not saying it's a bad game. I'm getting on with it. There are times where I'm bored and I'm frustrated and it's very slow paced. And the drip feeding of the information's a bit annoying, and the over, there's a hell of a lot of red herring stuff in this, or I feel that it's red herring stuff, There's lots of like pictures that actually may not have a meaning, and but and trying to decipher all that shit is certainly at the start, it's really frustrating. By the end, you may know exactly what the red herring shit is and what the real stuff is. Like, for example, the chess pieces in each room. Is there a relevance to it?
I think there probably will be, yeah.
But they're everywhere at the start. So when you first see them, you're like, right, I've got to find a chessboard, and then maybe I can do it. So you're looking for a chessboard everywhere, and you can't fucking find one, and you go, okay, I don't get it then, and that feels frustrating. So there's a lot of frustration. You need to be a certain type of person that's after a certain type of game to enjoy this. I don't think I'm quite at that level. I'm not like, I'm reading reviews and people saying that from day one they were fucking loving it. I wasn't. I just wasn't.
Yeah, I would say that is definitely an unfair expectation to put on this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Reveal what's so great about it for some time. I mean, to your point, Dave, like, and again, don't worry, listeners, I'm not going to spoil it. Yeah, there was a couple of people, including Dave, who are like, "Oh, you figured out the thing with blank, right?" And it's something that's everywhere. It's all over the game. And there was a little while where I was like, "No, they're taking the piss. Like, this isn't a thing. Like, this surely, like, I don't understand what it could possibly be." And then it clicked, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then that was the next hour of gameplay was me chasing that. Sorry, what?
Click.
What's it?
I think we can say it's to do with the pictures. I think we can say that.
Yeah,
that's okay. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah, there's something related to
Or
them,
did you just want to save your blushes? Is that why? No, because it's not. As I said, it's like it's different for different people, or whatever. But with that stuff, did you like? For me, it was an evolution of an idea. So when I said, "Oh, have you worked it out?" I'd worked out one thing about that, and then later on saw it spelling it out for you. Where it was like it's on the wall and it tells you what the rule is.
Oh, yeah. That's how I found it.
Yeah, so I was in a position where I saw two of them and I thought, oh, that's interesting, because I don't obviously I really don't want to spoil it for people.
No, of
course. Realization
was
fun. And I thought I'll just go and look at the room I was just in. What were the two pictures in there? I wonder if they have like a similar relationship, right? And and then I was like, oh fuck, right, where's my pen and paper? Like, here we go.
When so I worked out, I had a theory that worked, but it wasn't what the answer was.
Yeah.
Then I worked out what the answer was for each situation.
Yeah.
But then I was just writing stuff down and going, but none of this makes sense. And then I worked out something in the entrance hall and I was like, okay, get it. And then again, I saw another clue where it was like, here's the answer to that bit that you've just figured out. And I was like, oh, right, okay, so the game is actually telling you these rules. It's not, the game does not rely on you working the rules out completely on your own. Like, it gives you enough clues. There's still so many mysteries that are doing my nutting, and I feel that maybe the pacing or the way it drip feeds that stuff could have been done better. But then, am I then going to, 2 hours' time, find out the solution to something I saw at the start of the game and go, whoa?
Yeah, I think so. It feels like, there are so many things in every room, and like first day, you're like, okay, it's just a room with these items, and you're like, oh no, because that's a puzzle. And then, the chess pieces, I'm sure I'll probably discover what that is. I'm like, oh shit, now every room is another layer of complexity, another layer of puzzles. There'll probably be some other things I haven't noticed yet. I'm like, oh shit, all those rooms have that thing, therefore there's another layer on top. It just feels like every time you discover something else, another clue related to a puzzle, another item in the environment. Like, there's one thing I've seen in one room, I'm like, I literally have no idea what it links to. Every time I go in a room, I look at it in case it changes. It doesn't. I'm like, what even is this? But I love the fact that we, comparing how we were on day one in that game, walking into the hallway, compare that to where we'll be in, like 10, 20, 30 or more hours. I mean, I think Jason Schreier said done like 125 hours in this game. But like how our perception of the game will change. Depending on what we've seen. But I've seen some people say they finished it after day 17 or 17 hours or whatever, but there are so many more mysteries to look at after you hit credits that probably a lot of things to see.
There's an achievement for solving it in one day.
Yeah, just Outer Worlds actually, so that'd be cool.
James?
Yeah, go on, sorry, James.
Thoughts?
Yeah, so I mean, I played.
So you
this as
finished
well. I finished it. Yeah, it's. I
James
actually played.
fucking bossed this as well because he pissed me off. You've got this on PlayStation. It's on PlayStation Plus or whatever.
It is, yeah.
I didn't
And
know
Game
it was on
Pass,
there
yeah.
until I was like 6 or 7 hours into the game, and I was like, this is perfect for Portal. I didn't realise it was on PlayStation. So I've been playing on Xbox, so I can't go back now. But go on.
Yeah, I played it on Portal. I've only played about 2 hours, I think, of this so far, and I mean, it's probably going to surprise nobody that I'm not really digging it. But the thing is it's this is nothing to do with the game at all. It's just not. I can appreciate what it's trying to do, but I just don't think it's for me at the moment. I don't
You've never
feel.
been into puzzle games, have you?
Not particularly, no. I don't, and roguelikes as well. I don't particularly like very much either. And I did exactly the same thing as you, David, where I was just like, okay, I'm not getting anywhere with this. So I watched one of those videos that was like, things you should know before, and it was crap. It was exactly the same thing, like you said. It was that sort of like, study everything in every room for like, in exhaustive detail. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm looking for, like in all
Yeah.
these. It's like,
Yeah, totally. That was me. Yeah.
It's so frustrating because like there are things that I have spotted after walking through the same room like a dozen times and then been like, oh my god, I've just been walking past.
Yeah, it's
that
hidden
this
in
whole
plain
time.
sight. Yeah.
But
you're
that's
already gonna-
what's fun. Like it wouldn't have been fun if like every single room I was like, right, I need to scour everything as I go, or else I might miss something. It was fun because I stumbled upon it after walking past it so many times, and that's
Yeah,
fine.
totally.
But
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
presumably, the longer you've played it, the more context you have for stuff. So the more likelihood that you're actually going to notice stuff.
Exactly.
That is actually
Totally.
important.
Yeah.
As
And
I
it's-
said, this is people giving people advice on a game that they've spent 120 hours on, not remembering what it's like to start out. Do you know what I mean? Like, I understand that's difficult putting you back into that same place. But honestly, my advice is just lay down rooms. Just lay down rooms and try to get to the top of the grid.
Like just
and
play with
eventually
it and
something
see
will
what
make you
comes
go,
out.
that's weird.
Yeah.
And then you'll focus in on it, and then that'll be it.
Yeah.
Can we set up a group with the three of us? James, you're tapped out, right? Fully?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, as I said, I no problem with this game whatsoever. It's just I don't think it's for me. That's basically
I do think the longer. I mean, I'm also the first 2 hours. I was a bit like, don't really get it. But the more I'm playing, the more I'm discovering and revealing things. I'm like, okay, I'm loving it more as I discover and see and play more. I know you don't like puzzle games, so maybe it's never going to be, never going to win you over. But I think a lot of people are saying if you get to day 10, some people are saying there's some big discoveries in around then. I don't know. I would just say I would play more.
He's just not
but,
into these games, is he?
No,
No,
and the
probably
thing
not.
is,
Witness.
I could be
James.
playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, you see, and I'd rather be
Real
playing
problem.
that. That's the problem.
Have you played? Did you like The Witness, James?
No, not particularly.
Yeah,
I'm-
see,
I'm
because
just
you
not
won't.
into it.
This reminds me of The Witness so much.
Yeah.
It really does, and it's not a direct comparison. The Witness is very much here's a puzzle, here's a puzzle, here's a puzzle, and then expands on that. Whereas this is less of that. But
I think what's interesting
I do
is-
think it's really important to not emphasize the puzzle in the first few days of play. Like I really, honestly, I went into this thinking it was an escape room game, and it just isn't at the start,
See,
and it
that's
shouldn't
what I
be.
thought it was as well, because that was
It
the
shouldn't
impression
be.
I got
shouldn't be
like,
looked
from
at
it.
a scene
I
like
mean,
that.
you see, I do like some puzzle games. Like I love Portal and Portal 2. I like spatial puzzle stuff. Really, that's what I really like in games. I really dig that.
It's got that. It's definitely
Has
got
it?
stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
does,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's also got a hell of a lot
But it's
of
got loads of other stuff. Yeah.
here's a key and the room and what's with the key if the room is red and no, the room is dark now. It's like it's shrouded in a lot of that stuff as well. So I can see why James is tapped out, and I've got no reason to tell you to carry on playing because I don't think you'll enjoy it, James. But I do want the three of us then to have a group chat where we can say things like, "Is there anything going on with that?" So someone at least can go, "Yeah, I've
got
worked that
so
out.
many.
Keep going with it." Can we
No,
do that
that'd be
then?
really
Can we
cool,
just
we should
catch
do that.
up? I've got a spreadsheet, a Google Doc with just descriptions of every room.
Yeah, I've got
look,
massive
that's
iOS
quite
notes,
useful,
and
though,
I've checked. I've taken 82 pictures so far, because as well as writing notes and doing diagrams and tables in my note on my phone, I've also I need to take a picture of things. Like you do find kind of booklets or manuals. I'm like, well, I'm not going to pass all the information. I'll just take a picture of every page. Where there's and that looks like could be a puzzle solution. I'll take a picture. Yeah, 82 so far, and I feel like I haven't even done the first kind of minor objectives. So
I think
Yeah.
as well, because there are some rooms that have an effect on the following day, and sometimes I'll do the room on the first day and then fucking forget that I was supposed to find something on this following day as a result, and then I'm like, oh shit, I've just messed.
I
that
should
up.
say that's a bit annoying as well, because it is inconsistent with that.
Yeah.
So some rooms you do actions in and they reset for the next day, and some rooms you do actions in and they stay the way they are
Some
for the
stuff
next
is
day.
permanent. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not clear enough. Because
It's not. I feel like every time something has turned out to be permanent, I've just been glad of it. So it hasn't annoyed me yet, but you are right. It could be
sure,
clear.
but
Yeah,
I've
there's a
wasted
couple-
the day trying to get to a point where I was going to perform an action
Yeah.
and then realised that it had already been performed. And I was like, oh, great. So I've been focusing on this and I've wasted my time trying to
need
get
to,
this so I could do
yeah,
it again and I didn't need to, yeah.
yeah, there's one room I did shit. It's a complicated puzzle. I'm not going to even hint. There's no point. It's a complicated puzzle, and I was like, man, one I have to get that room again, and I have to go for all of that again. But no, thankfully, when I found that room again, it was kind of it was saved as it was. Okay, thank God, because I wouldn't have quit, but I was like, oh, bloody hell, do I really have to get all those things again? And but no, it's something safe. You're right. It's not clear though.
Here's a question: is it spooky?
When you go downstairs outside, it's very spooky. I got spooked out, and it's got spooky music, hasn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like the music is real spooky.
Some of the
but
music's really spooky. Some's quite soothing, but yeah, some of it's really spooky. It's weird. It's one of those, a few months ago I was talking about Indiana Jones. I was saying, you go in these spooky tombs, but it kind of makes a point of like being like, oh no, like Indiana Jones fucking loves this shit. This is what he lives for. So it's like, oh well, actually, maybe it's not that spooky then. Like you're sort of empowered by knowing that the character is into it. I kind of get a similar thing from this. There's hints, like even though the kid you're playing as never speaks. I don't think you ever see their face. Oh no, you do. Sorry, in the very start, don't you?
yeah, there's got a couple of cutscene.
It's
But
like
they,
James Farley in this segment.
Well, I don't want to, because you guys are like really.
I'm
into
joking,
this.
mate. Yeah.
There's no point in me just.
I wouldn't say I'm really into this. I would say that I'm still in the curious phase. I don't fully trust it yet. I don't see why people are calling it a masterpiece. Not trying to make anyone's day on the job any worse. I can't even remember what his actual phrase was there. That would have been great if I'd have
Don't
been
anyone
able to
have the
reference
worst
that.
day at their job? That was it.
So I'm not 100. I'm definitely not going to spend 120 hours in this game. Like that is not something I'm going to do. And I'm very much hoping it doesn't go the way of Outer Wilds for me, because my problem with Outer Wilds and my problem with the latter part of Animal Well was that I had to start looking things up. And I'm like, I want to enjoy the game for what it is. Like, I want to enjoy the game. What I don't want to have to do is go, what do I do with the billiards on the table into Google? And then, well, you have to press that and then press that. And then that billiard pops up. And then that's a secret key to it. And I'm like, at the moment it starts doing that, I'm like, I'm out. I sort of want to find out the solutions to these puzzles. I don't want to be told them.
See, I had that feeling as well, because as I said, I watched one of those videos of like what you should know before you go in and all that. And then there was loads of videos that were just like, here's how to solve this or whatever. And then I just thought, well, what's the point?
Yeah, well, I mean, those videos are always going to be there for any game, aren't they? It's even for the most basic puzzles in, say, Uncharted games, there's going to be a how to do this puzzle thing. But I do kind of think the whole point. I want to enjoy this game for what it's got to present it to me, and at the moment, it's not presenting enough in a by minute basis for me. So the last half an hour is probably the most interesting half an hour I've played of that game. So it's now made me go, no, okay, stick with it a little bit longer and see how you get on.
Yeah,
But it's also really frustrating because South of Midnight is out, and a lot of people are saying this is a very average action game with rather poor but easy combat. And I'm like, yummy. Give me that. I want
And the
that
story's
in
meant to
my
be great, right? The story and
face.
setting are meant to be fantastic. So.
I mean, I feel sorry for Promised Mascot Agency that came out on the same day.
Yes.
And I never played Paradise Killer, so that's on me. But, everyone loved that. Everyone, I think this was reviewed really well. But it came out on the same day, and seemingly everyone's talking about Blueprint. So that's another one I want to get to. But I do agree. I mean, Outer Wilds is one of my all-time favourite games, but I still had to use a guide, towards the end, which definitely took the edge off it. So this has not. I haven't had to do that yet, and I don't want to do
there's
that.
stuff in Outer Wilds that you've got to be a fucking genius.
Yeah, I don't know how
to work
you
out,
would have.
right?
Yeah, especially because that's. And I wonder if this game is going to do this. It hasn't yet for me, but maybe it will. But the thing about Outer Wilds is multiple planets, and you need to be certain planets at certain times, start certain things in action, go to another planet, do that because certain things are open. And I was like,
that's what annoyed me about that game. And that's why what frustrated me about that, because I think with a game like that, you should be able to piece things together. And when I read about some of the solutions towards the end, and granted, I didn't go through the process of gaining the context, but anyone that I've spoken to that's completed that game has gone, oh, I had to look up how to do the end. It's fucking ridiculously complex. And I'm like, yeah, but where's the fun in that? Like, what's the point?
I still find it fun because it's just like you're marveling at the machine.
Different.
But I mean, and as I said earlier, there is an achievement to do all of the Outer Worlds thing, the whole thing from start to finish in like 18 minutes, which is one, and runs on one day or in that one session. And it's amazing to do it. Like, you really kind of see all the various parts of the machine. But I wonder if this game also has like a time aspect. Have any of you seen anything that might?
Oh, it 100% has a time aspect, like without a shadow of a doubt. I'm certain you need to be in the den at a certain... Oh, I shouldn't say that.
What do you think?
Well,
no,
because this is just a theory. Well, the den is a room full of clocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely something time related. There are clocks everywhere in this, and like pictures of clocks. And so there's got to be something. Oh, you see? Yeah, I want to know if I need to be a certain room at a certain time to see a certain thing, which feels like probably.
There's at least one of that one.
Oh, okay, awesome.
That's
good.
Yeah. And what was fun? No, I can't. I'm going to spoil it.
Was it outside?
It was outside.
Okay. All right.
And
okay.
No, I can say I needed to know what the date was.
Oh yes, yeah, I've done that. Yeah, I've done that.
And that was a whole thing. But final thing I was just going to say, there is a story in this as well, which I wasn't really expecting.
There is.
100% there is a story that you can start piecing together. It's which
people have
really
said that that comes very late into the game. The story starts building up. And also, I want to know, in the dark room, I want to know who that photo is of that guy that sort of looks shocked at his photo taken because he's my boy. I hope he's not a villain because I love him just from that one photo. Anyway, we should, if any of that shit and nonsense we've just said sounds appealing, then try Blueprints. Don't go
just
into
to reiterate,
thinking...
it's on Game Pass and it's on PS Plus. So even if you're not sure, it will cost you probably nothing to try.
Yeah, give it a go. And all I'll say is, as I've said a couple of times, just go into it not thinking this is a big complex escape room, and let it show you the way. Trust it a little bit, and you will see some cool shit.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back to it. I hope I'll have it done by this time next week, but who knows? Who knows?
No fucking chance. I am quite shocked actually, because I looked at your account. I was just about to see where everyone was last night. I'd played it for 6 hours. You'd played it for like 7, Matt, and Sean had played it for 12 or something. And then I've just looked at your account. You've played it for a day now, so I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know how does that stuff update?
I wasn't home today, were you?
Do I? Yeah. Do I have to like close the app and then reopen it for that to update kind of the timing of that?
I think you do. No, I think
I've done
you do.
before, and I was like,
a live thing. Yeah. I think you have to turn your Xbox off for it to update. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, good game.
Okay. All right. Sean's the only other person that's played a couple of... I mean, I've been playing Split Fiction with Charlie. I can briefly just touch on that, in that we did the fucking bomb passing mission.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He did it. He was able to do it. 6 years old, and he was able to do it. So I'm already further into that game than I thought I would be with that.
Yeah, I
boy.
think you'll be fine. And that's quite complex.
There's
quite quick.
the
really?
last couple of hours are really hard. I can't wait for you two to get back on that game.
Yeah, when
I
will we get
cannot
back on
wait.
it, James? How is it 2 weeks away now?
It'll be the week, not this week, not the week after, the week after that. It's like, because I'm here for 2 weeks and I've got no
Okay.
access to PlayStation until then to get back.
Cool.
So yeah, it'll be there.
Such a shame. I'm itching to see that. Just don't spoil it for yourselves. That last hour, I cannot wait to see you play that. It's going to be a golden. You're not going back to it, Sean, at all?
Oh no, I will do. I need to talk new into it. I think Isaac's done with it.
Right.
Because I say, bless him, he was doing it, but it was like his brain was overheating. Like just
Yeah, no,
so-
Charlie was as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
standing up playing it and stomping his feet while he's playing it. It's quite funny. And he calls it Splitty-O Fix, which is
That's pretty
Oh
good.
wow!
brilliant. Yeah.
Pretty good.
He's been hanging out
When you
with
gamer tag, I think.
yeah, with John and everyone
No,
too
he's
much.
been hanging around me and mum. Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
hears, with the way that we talk about things.
Mm.
Yeah, and he went, "Oh, can we play Splitty-O Fix?"
Splitty-O
I'm like,
Fix.
yeah, let's do it. Johnny O Dents. Right. What else do you play, Sean?
I got a couple of others. So one,
Johnny
I'll be
O Entertains. Sorry, I just had to say that. Sorry, go on. Sean, sorry. Sorry.
So this is one I talked about the demo just not that long ago. Haste, which used to be called Haste Broken Worlds. I don't know if they've changed it or what. Now it just says Haste, so it's called Haste. I think it's only on Steam. I just wanted to mention it again. It's so much fun. This is the one where it's kind of a 3D platformer, but it's all about that sort of tiny wings, sort of momentum building. So it's like everything's really low gravity. Your character like dashes forwards, and then you hit a ramp, and then you're gliding into the air, and then you can hit a button to then sort of fast fall back down to the ground, and you're looking for those contours in the land, so that you basically the smoother you're landing, the more speed you gain, and you're constantly being chased by this sort of black miasma shit behind you. It's just feels fucking incredible. Like,
See, this is what I wanted to ask you, Sean, because I watched the video, it was about 15 minutes, and I watched the whole thing because I was like, this looks brilliant. Like, it looks exactly what I think I would like, and I was wondering how it actually feels to play because it looks very satisfying.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, obviously, there are times you'll get stuff wrong, and the feeling of like losing your momentum is frustrating. But yeah, for the most part, it's so good. And there's there's boss fights where you're like dashing around, like you're sort of making your way across the landscape while there's fucking lasers going off everywhere and explosions and stuff, and you're like dodging through those. Like it's just amazing how much control, like, you do feel like you have, like the sort of constantly spotting like the tiniest openings, and you're just like, I think I can fucking make it through that. And it's fantastic. It's I'm sure everyone else
Looks
has
like
said this.
3D, not Flappy Bird. What is it? Tiny Wings. It looks like 3D Tiny Wings to me.
Well, but like it's like this is what a Sonic game should be, right?
Yeah,
That's
it looks
exactly
very,
what I was
very
gonna say
Sonic
to you.
in the trailer. Yeah,
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was just
Yeah.
like, why were the 3D Sonic games not just this?
Yeah.
Because it would have been brilliant if
Yeah,
it was something.
it's so
If
good.
it was like this.
So yeah,
Personally, I
I'm
think-
3 sort of worlds in, and yeah, I absolutely love it. It's getting quite hard. It's a bit stingy with, so like if you fail a run, but the way it works is you go into one of these crystals which represents like one of the worlds, and then it's a bit roguelikey. There's like paths you can take, and then it sort of randomly generates the levels as you go. And then the bits where you can stop off a shop and buy items that help you out. But you, like, when you fail that, you get this other currency that you can then spend on other upgrades and stuff. It's pretty stingy with that. I would like it if you earned like quite a lot more of those, because like you have to fail like several runs before it's like, oh, now I can increase my health a tiny bit. So that's kind of a shame, but maybe they'll sort that out. But yeah, I'm hoping this gets a console release, because it's you play it with a controller 100%. So yeah, really
I
enjoying
do
that.
think you should probably play less of this and watch more of that film with Keanu Reeves in the bus.
What's
That
speed?
that is a brilliant joke. Message in if you get it. Message
Okay.
in if you get it.
Oh, they got it.
Oh yeah, they definitely did.
Okay.
The next game I want to talk about is so on Fortnite there's like other
Yeah, I
stuff.
remember that game.
Oh, yeah.
we
Fortnite,
played.
there's other stuff in it.
We're cool kids.
Isaac was watching me play it the other week, sorry, and he was like, "Oh, what's that? I want to see that." And it was Dragon Tycoon 4. And
This is where you got to build dragons.
you get dragon eggs. You build like a castle, and then you raise your dragons, and you go out and you fight enemies with your dragons. And I put it on because Isaac wanted to see it, and then Isaac went up to bed, and then I carried on playing it,
Daddy will play.
and then it was like 2 a.m.
Crying. Holy fuck.
And,
Holy fuck.
and the entire time I was like, this isn't good, but it is.
And yet,
But it's the fact that it's that clicker loop
Yeah.
where you're like, I should really stop playing this. This is bad. I really shouldn't be playing. I need to stop. But I have nearly earned the next upgrade for my castle, so I'll just see what that looks like, and then and then you buy that. And it's like, oh, I'm producing gold a bit more quickly now that I've got that upgrade. I'll just fight some enemies, and by the time I've done that and I've come back, my dragon will have leveled up, and then I'll buy another upgrade, and then I'll get another floor in my castle, and then now there's a new currency. Now it's diamonds as well as got, and they know what they're doing. It is bad in so many ways, and yet it is actually skillful. They know how to build a compelling loop, and it's terrifying. So then the following morning, I was like, "Oh my god, Isaac, look what I did!" While you were asleep.
Look what
I had
Daddy
this fucking
did.
enormous castle.
I thought you were going to say, Isaac, yeah, that game's been taken offline now, and no one can
it's
play
gone,
it
so,
ever
yeah,
again.
they deleted it.
Daddy's had to remove it for you.
Yeah.
Not for Daddy, for you. I mean, I'm fine with it, but
100%.
you can't play it, and I never can I now.
And the worst part is as well is it's the loop is that literally once you reach a certain point, you have to like reset everything you've done, and then that like this little ticker goes up by 1, and then that unlocks more stuff in your next run, and it wants you to just keep doing it over and over and over. And that was when I was like, right, no, I am out now. But to be fair,
Until the update comes out.
yeah, for about 5 to 6 hours, I was like, I cannot get off this.
It sounds like your version of Happy Street. Do you remember Happy Street, James?
Oh, I remember Happy Street.
What was
Yeah.
Happy
Do you remember
Street?
how
Yeah, it's the
insanely
iOS game, wasn't it?
addictive
It was, it was
God,
ridiculously addictive.
Was this the
And
Joypod
awful.
years?
So addictive. Yeah.
Was this
It was the first
Joypod
couple of
years?
years of the App Store, wasn't it?
This
Like
does ring a
2008,
bell, actually,
2007?
And it was totally pointless.
Oh, yeah,
It was-
2009. Yeah,
It was awful, but yeah, for some reason, totally addicted
So
to that.
good
for
that
ages.
Fox used to come around and you could get coins off him.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Happy Street. That's a stream. Maybe do a Happy Street stream, James. Load it back
Still works.
onto your
Game
iPhone.
still going.
So?
We should do like a double stream of that, and then Mr. Crab.
Mr. Crab, yes.
Mr. Crab was the one, man. That game was so good. What was that last level? What was the last level called?
Oh, I don't remember, but it
A
was
lava saying. Oh no.
intense. That was. It was
Yeah,
great.
it was. It was good. Okay. That's what we've been playing.
So yeah,
This
recommendation of the week: Dragon Tycoon 4.
There you go. Let's get to your questions before we get the fuck out of here. Holy fuck.
If you want to send us a question, you can do so by going to tcgs.co/dear TCGS.
James, are you asleep?
No, I'm just looking at Mr. Crab too.
regularly looks like he is. There's definitely going to be
Mr.
some
Sleep.
funny gifs. Coming out
Yeah,
of this,
in this episode, there's probably about 20.
There's the waging.
He sleeps.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maria Mendieta says, "Dear TCGS Kong Bonanza, hearing James threaten to cancel David's Switch 2 pre-order brought back memories. My parents shrewdly resorted to reducing my game time allotment as a form of punishment. As parents yourselves, when have you used gaming as a negotiating chip with your children?" Like every day.
Yeah, all the
Yeah,
fucking
we
time.
always use it.
Absolutely all the fucking time.
Yeah.
It kills me. I just can we have every fucking month? Can we have the Fortnite Battle Pass? No. You get enough to earn the next one. No, I'm not. And well, I'm not going to buy it for you then. If they're naughty, you're not playing Fortnite. That that gets banned for a day.
Yeah.
No, it's perfect. It's a perfect way to punish your kids, gaming.
It was
Get them
for us, it
addicted
wasn't-
and take it away.
For us, it wasn't so much punishment. Like Isaac's, like his behaviour used to get really bad if he spent too long playing games. So then it was like,
Just
look,
like
we're
his
not,
dad.
yeah, exactly. So then it was like, it's look, we're not taking it away to punish you. We're taking it away because A, because we don't like who you are when you've spent it long on it, and B, we're reminding you that you've got loads of other nice stuff to do in the house, right? You do not have to like play games all the time. So it was just a sort
But
of.
why do you play games all the time, Daddy?
Yeah, I can take it. I'm
an
normal,
adult.
It's fine.
I can do what I want,
well
mate.
adjusted,
You're
and
little.
it's
And go do some arts
so
and
yeah,
crafts.
so it was more just like, look, we're doing this because it is like healthy for you to take some time away from it, basically, rather than being like, no, you're not having this because you've been bad.
Remember when you were a kid though, and you were playing a game, and if your parents come over and said, "We're going to limit your time on this because we want you to be healthier," you'd think, "Fuck off, you square."
Oh, 100%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know what I would have said, David? I would have said, eat my shorts.
Man.
I wouldn't have the guts.
But then it's interesting, isn't it? Like, because back in like when we were kids, like if mum and dad had said, all right, you can only have like an hour on the Commodore 64, I was like, well, I don't want to spend an hour on it. It's not like
It's 50 minutes of loading.
Oh, for fuck.
I remember when I first
Really?
spent
Still
an
rough.
hour on Ivan Iron Man's Super Off-Road. I remember thinking, oh my God, I've played this for a whole hour.
You remember that?
Yeah, because I remember thinking like, oh my God, that's such a long amount of time. Because normally
never
you play
want
stuff
an
for
hour.
20 minutes, or it'd take 20 minutes to fucking load. Then you play it for
That's
20
so
minutes, and then you're like, oh, well, it's not that good.
I saw someone say about them. I took my 7-year-old daughter to watch the Minecraft movie, and they said it's ridiculous how it's just full of memes. How's that entertainment? And I just want to go, no, they didn't. They were a 7-year-old
Absolutely
child.
No chance. No chance.
Father,
And
I
everyone
don't
stood
like
up
the
and
fact that
clapped.
these
Yeah,
are
yeah.
meme culture gags. I would rather some character-based humour.
Character development was subpar.
The arc was a
Love
joke.
the mise en scène, though. Yeah, but yeah, no, using gaming as a negotiating. I think you can use it to reward your child as well, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a punishment. You can be like, well,
Oh, yeah.
look, if you behave well, like, oh, we've been out all day, you've been really well behaved. Yes, you can have another 45 minutes on Minecraft. Why not?
The worst we done with that was Charlie really struggles with sleep, like he always has
Yeah.
done. And we're like really strict about not letting him in our room, not letting our in our bed and all that sort of stuff. But he struggles with sleep, and I think it is because he wakes up and his head's fizzy even at like 3 o'clock in the morning. But we said if you sleep through the night 10 days in a row, I'll buy you any video game you want.
Wow.
Thankfully, it was Nickelodeon cart that was £12 in CEX. I was loving that.
Oh, he's fucked that up, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Didn't go for the full rock band set. You know, like-
Still battalion.
Still battalion. Well, I went there as well, man. Still battalion straight away. I mean, he could get the game. I ain't getting him the fucking pad for it. No chance. Yeah.
Anyone
So
else?
blackmail your kids is the
Yep.
advice.
Blackmail your
It's a
kids.
solid strategy.
It is a solid strategy. Next bit of
Next
feedback.
question comes from Marmite Sniffer. What's your favourite flavour packet of crisps?
Good question. Prawn
Scampi.
cocktail is my answer.
Prawn cocktail.
If you're going
100%.
classic,
Mhm.
it's prawn cocktail.
Yeah.
I like salt and vinegar. Can't stand cheese and onion.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get it.
See,
I don't get it.
I don't mind salt and vinegar, but I am just like, why would you choose to do this to yourself?
Oh, because it's amazing
Yeah,
salt
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
vinegar.
If you,
Like
if you're
especially
drinking,
when it's.
But
yeah,
it's
if you like
physically
drinking a Coke
uncomfortable
with it
to
or
me.
something, it's great.
No, it's
Like
not.
the
I
combination.
find
of, like,
prawn
salt
cocktail
and
more
that.
uncomfortable to eat. Does anyone else get this? This is a genuine. I'd love to know if I'm the only one that gets this in the world.
Yes,
Prawn
I think you're.
cocktail's
Before you,
one of-
whatever you say, David. Yes, I think you're the only one in the world that has this feeling.
You out of 8 billion.
Likes crisps.
What's the
A
deal?
packet of crisps. You know, whenever you have like a really strong packet of prawn cocktail, for example, get a weird feeling at the
Yep.
top, like at your jaw.
Yep.
What is that?
Yeah, sometimes
What's that?
when you've like, it's like the first thing you've eaten for a little bit.
Or even before you eat it, you go to put the crisp in your mouth, and already your jaw starts going weird.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
What
taste
is
sensation.
It's really uncomfortable.
No,
your
but it's
taste
not
buds.
because you've not eaten it yet.
You know, but it's like you're
It's
remembering.
anticipation.
Yeah, you're remembering what it feels like. Your
Wait,
taste
hold on.
buds are like,
So
we're
do-
ready.
No, because it's,
do
it's
you get this,
separate
Matt?
from the feeling of actually eating it.
I don't get a prawn cocktail. I might get it if it's like a strong packet, like a
Matt doesn't get
like
it.
Monster Munch, no ham, pickled onion. They
Pickled
used to
onion
do it to
Monster
me.
Munch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they used
What
to do
you
it.
get?
But
You get the jaw thing.
yeah.
Like
'cause
about
it's
here,
almost like
about here.
it's almost like my mouth's like ready for it. But most other crisps, no, because not weirder.
And my mouth's
Can
ready
you
for
still
it being
get-
the episode title.
Can you still get pickled onion Monster Munch?
Yes, of course you can.
You can in
Because
Britain.
that was amazing. That I remember when I was
God,
at
I
school,
fucking love
there was a
Britain.
kid in school
I
who
love
used
it,
to
mate.
eat that for like lunch every day, and then he used to pin boys down and then burp in their faces like after
Wow.
eating.
When you say some boy, was that boy you?
Occasionally,
Do you get the jaw thing, James?
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like this sort of
Right,
like
so everyone
tingly-
gets it. Okay, all
Yeah.
right, cool. No, it's not. It's like a cramp. It feels
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
cramping up,
Yeah,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
like sometimes quite uncomfortable.
yeah, totally.
What
I
you
think
done
mine's
to
more
us,
tingly
Walkers?
than cramp, but
No, mine's
yeah.
pure
If
crampage, mate.
if I what's that? What'd you
Mine's
say?
pure crampage, mate. Is what I said.
Yours is pure crampage, mate. Okay.
Another episode
Yeah,
title.
if I had to go for like a standard flavour, I mean, I don't mind a Ray Salted actually. Ray Salted Walkers.
Yeah,
don't
nothing
mind
wrong with
that.
ready
Yeah,
salted.
really sort of alright.
Am I
But-
right or wrong with this?
Seabrooks. So go.
Ready salted crisps are always better when you're on holiday.
Oh,
If I'm having lunch at work, ready salted crisps, I'm like fucking bland. But if I'm on a balcony in Spain,
The Costa
then ready
del
salted
Rey.
crisps taste like pure
Because they
heaven.
remind you of home.
Yeah, because they're late.
Oh, blighty.
They're called Lays instead of Walkers.
Sing
That
the
was
national
weaves me out at the start. But yeah, there's something about crisps on holiday. Okay, maybe I'm overdoing things.
But also,
does anyone
don't
else have
most,
this feeling?
doesn't most things taste nice on holiday?
Yep.
Yeah. Everything does.
Should
Yeah.
save this for the bonus show.
No, this isn't worth paying for.
I had a few weeks ago-
Scampi fries are the best.
Yeah, pennies.
I had them recently. I haven't had them since I was a kid, and we had them when we did the Thames Bridge walk. And I was
So-
like,
they're
these
so
are the
good.
greatest things
Yeah.
of all time.
Yeah,
Although
good.
I did remind the people that I was with that they used to be in pubs where the packets were in front of a nudie lady. Do you remember that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That was
Well,
what I
Someone
buy.
bought a
All
packet
I
of
have to do is buy
panky
5 packets, and then I was,
scampi fries.
Yeah.
You would take one off, and people, no, not that one. No, it's already off now, mate. So no, get the one above it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, get an iPhone. done?
different times,
Different needs.
A few weeks ago, I got from Aldi some burger flavoured not Pringles.
Is this another listener question or?
They just sort of.
Yeah,
no,
this
this is
woman
just
with me on.
me.
I was like, what are the chances of
Sometimes I
that?
just like to talk about my life, all right? Just
Yeah.
This is a Blue Sky post. It's not.
Yeah, this could have been a
eating
skeet.
these crisps weren't very nice.
Let's move on.
They just tasted like mustard.
Okay.
Late Larry, brackets, not a real Larry. Firstly, I missed the contact window for last week's show. Work and life have become a lot more time aggressive recently. Nothing quite gets me through the Wednesday lull like listening to your show. The banter, the light-hearted approach paired with seriousness serious when needed makes you the best pick-me-up. You got superseded last week as I got my Switch 2 pre-order in then. Secondly, David, you should, if you haven't already, give Atomfall another shot. The opening is very jarring. I was ready to put it down at about 45 minutes in when it really started to open up for me.
Oh, that's funny because that's about when I put it down. So maybe I'll keep that on my list.
Third, I'm trying to buy British as much as possible. Not necessarily because of the
Why?
Lib Dems, but to support the economy. What are your favourite British-developed games? Thanks, late Larry, brackets, not a real Larry.
Oh,
Because
God.
he wants to bring back better British business.
Wait, that sounds like a Tory
Yeah, make
slogan.
British
That
games
does.
great again.
Bring back British
Back
business.
to basics, common sense.
Back. Better British business. Nigel Farage standing in front of it with his arms folded like a cunt. Sorry, you've got it.
I might, do you know what? On this occasion, I might leave that one. He deserves it.
Don't use it as an excuse not to edit. British-based games, obviously Forza Horizon. That's a British-based game, isn't it? That is
Does
like
GTA
you don't get
count?
much better than that.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I mean, it's developed all over the world, but
yeah, but
like
the headquarters
Britain,
is
right?
in Dundee, isn't it? So I think that counts.
That's where it originally came from.
Trying to think of some more.
Dizzy
Conker's Bad
Games.
Fur Day.
Yeah.
I watched the
fucking
I watched
Sea
the
of
great-
Thieves. Jesus Christ, you know I
I
adore
Sea of
that
Thieves,
game.
yeah. I went sailing, and I thought
yeah,
of
you
Sea
did.
of Thieves a lot while I was sailing, because they were going, "Oh, the wind," and I was like, "Yep."
You're like, oh, that's not a game of winding.
Look at yeah, exactly. That's exactly. Have they got telltales in Sea of Thieves?
Have they got what? Sorry.
Well, they should have telltales in Sea of Thieves. It's part of a sale, actually.
Oh, I see.
It's
Sorry.
not a
I'm talking like
simulator,
this
Dave.
because
Tall
I've never I found out the day that I went sailing, that one day that I did it. Yeah.
How many times
There
did you
was
laugh
part
at
of me-
the term poop deck? Was that mentioned?
Several. There was part of me that when I went sailing, when I went, this is all right, but it's not worth this amount of money. This is actually,
Juice
the
ain't worth the
majority of
squeeze.
it is quite boring.
Yeah, but imagine doing that, David, while eating some lovely lays.
That sounds like well, it depends what, were we in Europe or on the British coast?
Just
Because there's a
outside
big
British
difference.
coast. We're just past the border.
All right, okay.
GTA is the winner. Next.
Doc Ock, long-time viewer / listener here. Just wanted to make a point about the Switch pricing discussion. You guys have been great at focusing on the problems facing the industry, particularly layoffs, but also crunch and dodgy monetization practices. I feel that Nintendo, while being a business, are also one of the better companies for these things. Is it possible that their current pricing model is just what consumers have to pay to avoid aggressive layoffs, crunch, and sleazy monetization? Would you prefer Nintendo to charge less but act in less ethical ways?
I don't know if Nintendo are necessarily better. I think they just probably hide it more, or we don't hear about it as much.
Yeah.
Because they have made a lot of people rebuy the same game for 4 generations. They're very good at that.
I think you can look at products and say, "Fucking hell, that's expensive," without worrying about that side of things. I think as a consumer, you can look at that and not necessarily go, "Well, this equals better work thing." I mean,
no one
you're
knows.
probably right. There could be an association with the price and work practices. Like, I'm not discounting that, but what I'm saying is, as a consumer, you can still look at that product and go, "Fucking how much?"
Yeah.
Like, I think that's
Yeah,
an
it's
okay
like-
reaction to have to a £75 video game.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this is the same thing, but like ethical clothing brands, right? Like if you find clothing brands that like make everything like in the UK or in Europe or whatever, oh, they're expensive, and I'm sure that is perfectly justified. Like if you're paying proper wages, etc. But again, you're allowed that reaction to be like, well, no, I can't spend £60 per T-shirt. Sorry, like like. It's you're allowed to have that reaction.
It's tough, and I totally see your point, Doc Ock. We're not like
I know,
waving away your
100%.
point at all. I think there could be some sort of association with that. I don't know what Nintendo's work practices are like. As Matt said, it could be that we just don't hear about it as often with other companies. But I think every now and then we have to remember that we're consumers at the end of the day that's making our own money and having to spend it in certain ways. And when we see that the new Mario Kart is £75, that's a bit shocking.
It's not even about whether it's justifiable, really, is it? It's, as you say, it's just the shock of it. Like,
Yeah, one thing you said actually last week I forgot to mention is you obviously mentioned the fact there's that the Mario World bundle for Switch 2, and that makes the game £35, but that's also only a limited time,
Yeah,
like
which is messed up.
which is even worse. It's like
doesn't count.
Yeah.
I mean, and Nintendo, I know for a long time their whole thing has been like, no, we know our stuff is fucking good and we know what it's worth. Like, and in a way I respect that, but also they drink the piss with some stuff. So.
See, it's the thing in it, because like if I think about like Mario Kart World, am I going to get like 75 quid's worth of fun out of this over the next 5 years? Yeah, definitely. That's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
But it is the fact that, like you said, Sean, it's just the initial shock of like that's a lot of money.
It's a shock, and the precedent it sets for other companies who, like we guarantee we're going to end up spending similar amounts of money on games that are not as good.
Yeah, that are not.
But the precedent has been set.
James, are
and
you
the
buying
bar's
2
moved.
copies of Mario Kart?
Well, we're buying 2 Switches that have got Mario Kart bundled in. Yeah.
Wow. It's expensive, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, but if you want to play it together,
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, yeah, you can't
is-
even play... Well, you can still play it together on the same screen.
oh yeah, I suppose
That's true.
Think of that.
I know, but then think about it. If he wants to buy it, like if I want to buy another copy or whatever, to like play, if he's going over his friend's house or something like that, or he's, it's
True.
better to buy it now when it's 30 quid rather than spending 70. Like when
I'm
it's-
not
Yeah.
Chen. You don't need to run these figures past me. It's
You consider
fine.
Brexit.
Next.
Stuart Fraser. Hi guys, recently at Gles Games, some friends asked how work was going. I gave them a sample snack pack of pickles I got from a trade show, talked about a sake tasting I was on, and that I was recently a judge for a professional shortbread baking competition. They told me they were jealous and that my job sounds ridiculously fun. Obviously, I don't talk about all the boring bits. So is there anything you tell people about your job to make it sound more exciting than it is? And if there is anything you would like to judge, what would it be? This doesn't have to be work related. Thanks as always for a wonderful show, Stuart.
No, I don't. I only talk about the boring parts of my job because I've got like this real horrible fear of coming across as arrogant. So when it comes to talking about my job, I'm like, it's really dull. Don't worry about it. It's not as exciting as you might think. It's boring. I never say about the cool stuff because then I just always, you talk to someone about their job. Yeah, we get to do this and this. You go, oh, cool. I can't because I'm not working there, but sounds good for you, I suppose. Thanks for telling me. Matt.
I had, when I was working at...
Well, it's different now. I've changed jobs, so
That's true. I'm not expecting to go into it now. We've not heard anything about your new job.
it's less exciting. It's just a job, isn't it?
All right, fine.
But yeah.
When I worked at Tatton Park, we had so it was like a golf cart that had been converted to had a flatbed on the back of it, so you can like take stuff around the park. And there was a period of like 2 or 3 weeks where it just so happened that I had various excuses to take stuff around the park and I got to drive that thing. And for a little bit, it was like, I'm going to send people a picture of me driving this fucking thing every time I'm on it. Even though it is not a realistic representation of what my job is or even how often I got to use the fucking golf cart. But at the time, I was like, yep, selfie, me driving the golf cart through the park.
James, I can't imagine you talk about your job to anyone ever
Never
outside
want
of
to
your
about it.
job.
If when we
Never want
ask,
to.
you won't tell us about it.
Nope. No interest in doing that at all.
But if you would like to read about James' jobs, then please go to Amazon.com.
With £440.
Yeah, with the same amount as that you were going to spend on the Switch 2.
Yeah. Yeah, our pre-order's still available for your book, James.
Nice, already out, Matt.
Wow, okay, even better.
Yeah, we got the audio book, remember?
Oh,
Good point. Yeah, where is Ian with that?
He's
Paperback, 30
still
quid.
going.
You know.
All right, very good. God.
All right, we've got a couple more. Clark, no kitchen appliance, just the basics. On Josh's message last week about bum fingers, redundancy, and rough months, wanted to say that you lads really do bring a ray of light into the week with the show, and so does the community. It's been great getting to know people, playing together, and just bouncing about the Discord while I go through redundancy too. Have you seen the fucking state of LinkedIn, AI art, gaslighting, and super irritating recruiters farming for likes all over the place? It's horrible out here right now. You guys in this community have made what could have been a dark time a much less dark for me, and it's important to call that out because your pod is a great moment each week. Now my point. Remember the Switch launch and people were queuing outside shops to get one, having events and doing all the lovely stuff you do on game launch? It sucks that we don't have that world anymore. Are you planning any nerd gatherings for the launch, or is it just Amazon delivery and bum on sofa solo time? Cheers, lads, and to the guests too. Ian especially is awesome.
totally agree, Clark. I'm missing that time. I'm getting the older I'm getting, the more nostalgic I'm getting, and one of those things is, queuing up and getting excited and fucking going into a shop and playing the demo unit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was
Sucks
cool.
that
And then
we don't get to do that anymore.
the 360 was a really good launch for that, and like bring it back, and then it's like I was contacting your mates.
Do you remember
and
holding
seeing-
that controller for the first time and just
Yeah.
thinking, what the fuck is going on in the world?
Yeah.
It's
To
mad,
feel
isn't it?
this thing.
Like demo pods. Well, like holy shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember seeing
spent
Call
up-
of Duty. It was a Call of Duty 2. Was that the one?
Yeah,
that
that
launched?
was
Yeah,
incredible in
on
HD
them
with that
Samsung
Samsung.
HD
Yeah, I had one
TVs.
of
Like,
them.
whoa, this is crazy.
Oh my god, it's
Yeah,
720p. Whereas now I'm like, oh god, it's another Steam Next Fest, another 20,000 demos to sift through. Like fucking shit.
Gluttonous.
Yeah. it is.
I just but getting it delivered by Amazon or whatever, you're getting it delivered by. There is part of me. It's like, cheers. But then there's also the frustration. I did have the buzz of getting the PS5. Like, that was cool. Getting the PS5 was cool. I was excited. I was, on these websites to try and track down where versions of like where I could get it from and all that sort of stuff. When it finally arrived and I got the wrong one, and and the fucking all of that was cool. But yeah, the Series X launch, it was like I ordered it, it came, set it up. I
Off
just
you go.
like, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
So I think we've said so. Yeah, I'm sticking with Smith. So I've got to drive to Warrington in the morning and pick that up, assuming it's in stock and that all works out, which will be fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because that is better than queuing, and that is better than waiting for a delivery. But
Yeah, because I know if I'm just sitting around waiting for someone to deliver it, I'm not going to get any work done that day. I'm going to be too distracted. So I'd rather just go out, get there for 9 a.m, grab it, get home, and then probably still
Then
get no
not
work
do any
done
work.
because I'll have a Switch 2 in the house.
Yeah.
It's probably just book the morning off, to be honest.
whole day.
But it'll be interesting to see if there's anyone else there, right? And maybe no one else is sad enough to be there first thing.
Oh, I think they probably will. I mean, for another Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully there won't be a queue, but there might be.
Mm.
What games are you
Have I ever
getting?
told you
getting
my
Mario
story about
Kart,
going
of
to
course.
Tesco's for the PS4?
You have, but you can tell that again for new listeners.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I was
No, it's all right,
joking.
fine. Okay.
It was a long-running joke that I would tell that story all the time. I'm not going to do it, Matthew.
But I've never heard it.
But yeah, the Wii launch. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was another good one. I was up in Milton
So
Keynes when that
good.
came out. I remember
'cause
getting
I
home
was-
and playing bowling until 3 a.m.
Well, that was it because it was like the nice thing because I was a student at the time, so it was the thing arrived and we weren't expecting it to show up. It was like 7 p.m. The Argos guy showed up with it and we'd given up at that point. And I was like phoning people up, like, holy shit, we've got a Wii, come round. Like, and it was like I'm not going to say it was like
Also,
a
it was
party, 'cause
fucking
that's too
well
much,
cheap, wasn't it? What
Yeah,
was
yeah,
it?
yeah.
180 quid.
£180.
Wasn't it like was it
Yeah.
180?
Yeah,
a
180.
different world, wasn't it? Different world back then.
Bizarre.
Right, last one. It's from Alex Green. Dear TCGS, I'm travelling over the Easter holidays to visit family. For the car journey, I want to listen to video game soundtracks. My most played soundtrack is Assassin's Creed 2. I listen to that a lot, but it now has become a bit boring. If you were going on a car journey, you could only listen to video game soundtracks. What soundtracks would you listen to? Any favourites? I'm looking for some new suggestions. I'm hoping that you could help. Thank you for reading, Alex.
Easy. FC25. Next question. I'm not joking. Do you know what? It would probably be the Hotline Miami theme. I still listen to that
man.
theme. This is fucking so good.
The level complete music.
Yeah.
Put that on like as the sun's going down. That's
Yeah.
such good driving music.
That fucking menu music. Bam, bam, dugga-dugga-dug. That is just so good. Love it.
I mean, more retro stuff. Obviously, Streets of Rage 2, amazing soundtrack. To listen to.
Would you sit and listen to that in the car?
Yeah,
Yes.
this is what I'm saying.
I would.
Yeah,
No, I would.
James
It's-
would, but fucking if I was in the car with him, I'm getting to pull over.
More modern.
Yeah,
I'd go
I'll
for
get an
all
Uber.
of the
Streets of
karaoke
Rage 4.
songs from the Yakuza games. That's great. That's a great listen.
Is it?
No.
I feel like he's not taking this seriously. There was actually a question addressed to James. I thought I'm going to take it out because he's not going to. He's not going to do it.
Lost interest by this point.
The Jet Lancer soundtrack is a favourite of mine when I'm driving or trying to be productive. Very upbeat, sort of slightly proggy guitar and sort of chiptune stuff's really fucking good. Citizen Sleeper soundtrack, maybe not for drive. I always find that like more ambient stuff doesn't really work
Yeah,
when I'm
Yeah,
driving.
yeah.
Citizen
Like,
Sleeper.
But Disco
I use that
Elysium
for
will work.
work. Like it's great for work. I think Citizen Sleeper.
yeah, totally.
I could genuinely do a 5-hour drive with the Time Splitters 2 Anaconda song on repeat. I was thinking about that the other day. I just had it in my head, and I was going da 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 da. It just makes me so happy. That
Oh, it is
song.
a banger.
Yeah,
For sure.
it is a fucking all-timer, boy.
Yep.
The end.
Ultros, best game soundtrack ever.
I said the end.
And now you can finish.
Socials.
Oh, you should have added one more in there, Sean. don't let him bully you.
Go on.
Are you doing a Monster Hunter Wild stream on Thursday, Sean?
Yes, I am.
Cool. Well, that is Thursday for 9 at twitch.tv/TCGSco. You can search for TCGS in the app if not, and follow us, and we notify when we go live. If you're on Amazon Prime or Twitch account, connect them, and they give you Twitch Prime Gaming, where you get one free subscription every single month. Want to go to our channel at the aforementioned address and give us your free monthly sub. If you miss the streams live, you can search for us on YouTube or go to @TCGS on YouTube to see the VODs. And tcgs.co is a link to our link tree, which has links to our socials, our podcast, Discord, Blue Sky accounts, Patreon, store. It's all on there.
All right. Well, thank you so
Or you
much
can
for
just
living
Google
it. You could just Google it. Thank you so much for living it. We'll be catching you next week for some more video game chit chat. We hope you have a lovely week. Goodbye. We love you. Goodbye.
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 Goodbye.